asking you to join me in October as my wife and I explore the magical kingdoms of Southeast Asia, from the villages of Vietnam and the temples of Cambodia to the friendly locals of Laos and the beachside resort in stunning, lively Thailand. I hope you'll join us for this unforgettable journey. Ancient and mysterious worlds of rural landscapes, bustling cities, and fascinating history in Vietnam. Explore the Chu Chi tunnels used by the Viet Cong. Experience a street food adventure through Hanoi and cherish the serenity of Hai Long Bay on a beautiful boat ride. Bangkok in Thailand, the beaches in Thailand, history, tradition, food. If you'd like more information on this great trip, send me an email. john.mercure@WTMJ.com. john.mercure@WTMJ.com. It's Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos. I'm super jazzed about this trip. Send me an email. I send you the info. john.mercure, MERCURE, @WTMJ.com.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
Traffic is sponsored by St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores.
St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores. Highway 100 and Layton Avenue in Greenfield. 23rd and Lincoln and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee. Great bargains and a great cause. You're gonna love it. St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores.
Your hometown hub for everything that matters. The latest news, traffic, weather, and sports on Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It is 3 o'clock. I'm Julia Fellow. This is Wisconsin's afternoon news for Thursday, January 23rd. Your top story, a deadline to put police officers back in Milwaukee schools.
I'm Sandy Max, in for John Mercure, overcoming a key hurdle in the nomination process.
I'm Debbie Lazaga, northbound 43, right at the ramp from Highway 100 where the two merge. We have a crash there. The left lane is blocked, as well as the right shoulder as well, so of the ramp. So give yourself some time to get through that. Emergency crews are definitely on the scene. Southbound 41 backing up just a bit from before Silver Spring all the way down to Capitol Drive. Southbound 43 also seeing a little bit of a backup heading right past Locust. Westbound 94 slowing down out of the Marquette towards Mitchell Boulevard. Typical stuff there, so it's nothing too major. It's just a little bit slow. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Cold tonight, the low will be 4 degrees. Wind chills will make it feel like 5 below zero. A slight chance of snow tomorrow night. The high will be 20 degrees. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, this just in, a judge orders police officers back in Milwaukee public schools by February 17th. In the ruling, the judge denied MPS motion to dismiss this lawsuit. It was filed by an MPS parent and the Wisconsin Institute for Law and Liberty, or WILL, over school safety. MPS is now ordered to comply with Act 12 and provide the legally required 25 school resource officers in all public schools during normal school hours, no later than February 17th. If they fail to comply, the district leaders will be required to appear in court before the judge to explain why it hasn't happened. MPS has been out of compliance since January of last year.
In national news, President Donald Trump's pick to lead the Pentagon, Pete Hegseth, cleared a key procedural hurdle in the Senate today to advance his nomination. The vote on ending debate came down to the wire, though Hegseth ultimately secured 51 Republican votes to move forward. A final confirmation vote on Hegseth could now happen as soon as tomorrow or early Saturday.
Meanwhile, the Senate has confirmed President Donald Trump's nominee to lead the CIA.
John Ratcliffe was Director of National Intelligence during Trump's first term. He's now the first person to hold that position and the top post at the CIA.
The yeas are 74, the nays are 25. The nomination is confirmed.
At a hearing last week, Ratcliffe told senators the CIA needs to improve its use of technology, like artificial intelligence, to confront such adversaries as Russia and China. Christopher Cruz, CBS News, Washington.
A federal judge in Washington state has temporarily blocked President Trump from moving forward with his plans to reinterpret the 14th Amendment to limit birthright citizenship. ABC News national correspondent Stephen Portnoy.
The 83-year-old Reagan appointee who heard the initial argument on the president's executive order said in his 4 decades on the bench, he can't recall a more clear case. Judge John Konauer called Trump's order blatantly unconstitutional, and he swiftly issued an injunction to block it. The order is aimed to prohibit the issuance of passports and Social Security numbers to children born to immigrants here illegally or on visas, starting next month.
The judge said that the 4 states challenging the order have, quote, a strong likelihood, end quote, of succeeding in their claims that Trump's executive order violates the U.S. Constitution and federal immigration law.
Coming up, it's going to cost you more to Netflix and chill.
Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 3:04.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. So I was looking at some of the bushes that have overgrown on my property, and I love our yard, but I need dormant pruning. That's what takes place during the winter when it's safe to cut back things so you have healthier trees and bushes around your house. Check right now to see if you've got stuff scraping against the siding or needs to be cut back, and schedule it now. Design Build landscaping projects are a year-round topic. Landworks Wisconsin does it the right way every time. They help people achieve their outdoor dreams by creating beautiful landscapes. I love these guys. LandworksWisconsin.com. Check them out today.
For over a century, local broadcasting has evolved with the needs of the community. We move past the stigmas of opinion journalism and bring the most relevant news online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Hey, it's Jason Wilde for Excel Custom Decks. I at least like to think I'm an expert when it comes to football, but I know Excel are truly experts when it comes to the art of deck building. With the finest materials and products combined with their superior craftsmanship, they'll deliver exceptional quality and value on everything from backyard decks to pergolas and outdoor kitchens. If you can dream it, Rob and his family can build it. Family-owned Excel Custom Decks delivers decking excellence by design. Visit excelcustomdecks.com to learn more.
The legendary music of Pink Floyd as you've never heard before. Live in concert with the Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra. Featuring conductor Brent Havens and vocalist Randy Jackson. Including a full rock band. Friday, February 7th at the Riverside Theater. Tickets on sale now at BabsTheaterGroup.com.
Outdoor Unliving. Oh, I keep saying it. Outdoor Unlimited. Oh my gosh, one more time. Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 3:06.
Excellent. Okay, so we have actually some developing news I want to get to before we go to our kicker here. President Donald Trump, he just signed an executive order, more executive orders. One of them was to declassify the files on the assassinations of former President John F. Kennedy and civil rights leader Martin Luther King Jr. He had promised to declassify that in his first term. He said, quote, everything will be revealed. He was just talking in the White House, in the Oval Office. So we hope to have more. Kennedy was killed November 22nd, 1963 in Dallas, Texas. And some of the files were released during his first term, but he says all of them will. So we are staying on top of that for sure. A popular streaming giant is raising its prices again. News Nation's Nick Smith.
The highest tier will be $24.99 and the lowest nearly $8 with ads. Netflix says this hike comes as it enjoys its biggest subscriber jump ever following the Tyson-Paul fight, NFL games, and the second season of Squid Game. The rate hike will go into effect on customers' next billing cycle.
The rate hikes come just 3 months after Netflix raised the prices of basic and premium offerings.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. The Bucks are now in the air to get back in time for their game tonight against the Miami Heat at Fiserv Forum. They have been stuck in snowy New Orleans, where the game against the Pelicans was postponed due to snowy weather. Bucks president Peter Fagan tells WTMJ,
we've got to shuttle an aircraft to New Orleans, like from Atlanta, kind of the timing gets to, so we could possibly have a landing around 5 o'clock. If that happens, we'd probably look for a later start, but this is all in motion.
Our coverage is currently set to start at 6 p.m. right after Wisconsin's afternoon news. We'll keep you updated on any time changes. UWM beats Wright State 95-79 in Horizon League play last night, and the Panthers take on Northern Kentucky tomorrow night.
Outdoor Living Unlimited News Time 3:08.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is on the air. Broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here are your hosts, Julia Fellow and Sandy Max.
News coming in fast and furious today. So, if you didn't just hear this at the top of the hour, Donald Trump was just signing more executive orders in the Oval Office, and one of them included signing an executive order to declassify files on the assassinations of former President John F. Kennedy and civil rights icon Martin Luther King Jr. And he said that he was going to do so in his first term, but he says he is now going to do it. And Martin Luther King's, there was an order under a law that it was going to be fully released in 2027, so 2 years from now, the full assassination report. But this is definitely speeding it up. So stay tuned with that. As soon as we learn more, we will let you know. But first,
this is the 3 at 3 on Wisconsin's afternoon news.
Okay, this was another story that was the top of the news. There was an 8-year-old Monday morning at about 2:30 in the morning that was shot and killed. Police say it was by his stepfather in the town of Geneva. So I just got a hold of criminal complaint. The stepfather just appeared before court and learned more information because police were staying tight-lipped on what exactly happened. So apparently they were playing with a gun, according to court records. That the stepfather had a little bit of rum and RC Cola before the child was dropped off, was supposed to stay the night. And at first they were playing, according to court records, with a stun gun. The child looked scared, so he wanted to look cool, quote unquote. Went into the bedroom, grabbed a 9mm handgun, took the magazine out, thought that it wasn't loaded, according to court records, pointed the gun at the child's face, pulled the trigger, told police, quote, "I thought it was going to make a clicking noise. Instead, it made a loud boom." He told police that he called a family member after he shot the 8-year-old stepson before he called 911. The family member said, "You need to call 911."
Yeah.
So there's even more.
Save this little boy's life. Good Lord.
So I'm going to be talking about this at 3:36. We're going to remember the life of a little boy, 8-year-old Michael Mager. And he was visiting Wisconsin from Illinois, Chicago suburbs, and had his whole life ahead of him. So we'll talk more about this coming up at 3:36. Okay, number 2 is in the air, so to speak, literally. Okay, so our Milwaukee Bucks are supposed to play at 6:30 tonight.
That's the plan.
Peter Feigin said it looks like it's going to be delayed a little bit, but the game is going to go on. But that's kind of weird because, I mean, when there's thousands of fans that are coming to Fiserv right now.
That are waiting, and we will definitely keep you updated. We know the the Miami Heat are here, because that was part of my question. It was like, we knew the Bucks needed to get back, but I wasn't sure from Florida if the Heat had even been able to make it. So the Heat have supposed been here a day or two, so we will keep you updated. It sounds like from everyone that I have spoken with that because it's a game that's going to be on TNT tonight and they've already had to postpone a game, it sounds like pretty much everyone's determined to play tonight. And I think the team wants to play. This is me speculating, but if you'd been cooped up since Monday, I think I'd want to be back at it.
Yeah, we'll be talking to Brandon Snide right after traffic and weather with that. Okay, number 3, Sandy.
Number 3 is not a financial advisor, but I am here to help. There is a new study that reveals the lottery numbers that you should play if you actually want to win big.
Ooh, okay. Not my birth date?
Oh, it could be. It depends on what numbers are in there. Online gambling experts at Play USA, they analyze numbers that have appeared in all previous draws. In Powerball, Mega Millions, The Big Game, Hot Lotto, and Lucky for Life. So they've done all these numbers cross-referencing, and they have found out each number's average frequency across all 5 of these lotteries. Which ones are the luckiest? Do you have a guess? Ah!
I know it. It's in the 30s. 36.
39.
What? Oh, I'm sorry. I already screwed that up.
39 is supposedly the luckiest number out of 47 numbers.
Huh.
Because, it goes all the way up to 69 in Powerball. So out of the 47 numbers that appear in all 5 of those lotteries, the luckiest numbers are 39, 28, and 16, followed closely by 32 and 15. Any of those correspond with your birthday?
Dude, I'm doing that. No, nothing. I'm totally going to do that. Wow.
And then the bummer for me is, on the other hand, the unluckiest numbers. The number 1, the unluckiest number is one that I regularly play.
What?
47. And all of the unluckiest numbers are in the 40s. 47, 46, 43, 41, and 44 in that order.
That's strange.
Isn't it?
Okay.
So, again, not financially advising, but if you're going to play, why not play the numbers that might actually hit?
Yeah, that have the odds. All right, it's 3:15 on WTMJ. Right after this, we're going to get a check of your traffic, give you weather, and we have Bucks shoot-around host Brandon Snide. We're going to check in with how the Bucks are faring.
If Miami is really that beautiful,
coming at you from beautiful downtown Miami Beach.
How come your best player doesn't even want to play there?
Jimmy Butler, he has wanted a trade out of Miami.
The Heat head up north to take on the Bucks.
Here's Damian Lillard, can't hit the 3, but there is Giannis to slam it right back up and in.
Our Bucks radio game day coverage starts tonight at 6. We are the home of the Bucks. WTMJ.
John Mercure here for the Froedtert and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network. An estimated 1 million Americans live with Parkinson's disease. With 90,000 new cases each year, Parkinson's is a progressive brain disease that affects movement and can also impact mood, memory, and sleep. Dr. Ryan Brennan, a neurologist with the Froedtert and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network, shares how their team provides personalized care. Hear it along with all of our past everyday health discussions by clicking the drop-down menu at WTMJ.com.
It started with a prediction.
Go out there and play basketball and win.
And how many games?
6.
It became the culture.
Chance of Bucks in 6.
Being a Bucks fan means you live and breathe Bucks in 6. Brandon Jennings created the prophecy. Tune into Behind the Bucks, the story of Brandon Jennings on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
That's for the culture.
Hi, this is Julie Coombs and Cindy Stormfisher with Stormfisher Investment Group. Are you a retiring professional? Worried about the direction of our economy? About making your money last?
Come see what we can do for you. Let us show you how we take care of you to help you have a great retirement.
We are at 262-796-8400 or stormfisher.com. See you soon.
Securities offered through Osaic Wealth Inc. Member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered through Osaic Advisory Services LLC. Osaic Advisory. Osaic Wealth and Osaic Advisory are separately owned, and other entities and/or marketing names, products, and services referenced here are independent of Osaic Wealth and Osaic Advisory.
This report sponsored by Exterior Pros and Baths. Trust the pros and kick off your home transformation. Ready to tackle your home improvement project this winter? Exterior Pros and Baths is here to help you score big with quality home exterior and shower upgrades. Visit extpros.com today.
Let's get off your roads with Debbie Lazaga. Hey, Deb, how's it looking?
Hey, Julia. Yeah, we had that earlier accident right near the Hale interchange on basically where Highway 100 and the Rock Freeway meet. That looks like it's almost finished up as far as getting cleaned up. The left lane still blocked there through on the Rock Freeway there. So just be extra careful. Actually, I think that's Highway 100. So just be extra careful as you're going through there. Delays along southbound 41, a little bit slow from before Silver Spring all the way down past Capitol Drive. Westbound 94 is heavy out of the Marquette to Mitchell Boulevard. Southbound 43, you're just seeing delays pretty much through the Marquette. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Cold tonight. The low will be 4 degrees. Wind chills will make it feel like it's 5 below zero. A slight chance of snow tomorrow night. The high will be 20 degrees. Saturday sunny with a high of 34. Sunny Sunday with a high of 27 degrees. Then cloudy Monday with a high of 37 degrees.
The Bucks don't stop here.
That's right. Okay, so
Milwaukee Bucks.
Excellent. I love it. It's so cute.
It's better than blizzards and snowing.
Yeah, the Milwaukee Bucks aren't
Green
here
and
right
growing.
now. They're in the air. Bucks shoot-around host Brandon Snide. Do you think you're going to be working later tonight? Do you think it's going to be delayed?
Yeah, I would assume it's going to be delayed. They're not going to get in. So they're in the air right now. They just took off about 20 minutes ago. So they're probably not going to get to Milwaukee till after 5 p.m. The original tip was 6:30. Peter Fagan this morning on Wisconsin's Midday News said ideally they would like 2 hours from landing to plane. So that would automatically assume that if they're going to play, that it would push it back to at least 7:30. Maybe you look at 8 o'clock. The key note here is that it's a nationally televised basketball game, so TNT has it tonight. There's talks that they might transfer part of that game over to NBA TV because what was supposed to be after the Bucks game was the Golden State Warriors game in Golden State, which is supposed to start at 9 o'clock. So there's obviously they're gonna run into some scheduling conflicts there, but since I've been a Bucks fan, which has been since the day I was born, I don't ever remember a situation like this.
Right.
It really is unusual.
It's unusual for to cancel in New Orleans because of not a hurricane or bad weather like that, like snow, like 8 to 10 inches of snow, and then to have this game be impacted. And the Bucks were proactive. They left on Monday. They played Sunday. They left on Monday because they wanted to get ahead of what they knew was going to be a snowstorm. I don't think anybody had it on their bingo card that it would be this bad to where it's now going to impact not one game, but a second game.
I mean, Brandon, they weren't even able to practice. They were holed up in that hotel.
Yeah.
And I'm just worried that they're not going to be warmed up enough. I mean, do we have a police escort taking them to Pfizer?
I would imagine there will be. Now, from where they land in Milwaukee to Pfizer is a quick ride. Go right down 794. We just had that on the show not too long ago. So they'll use the home bridge, I'm assuming, to go right into Pfizer. Now, I will say this. I don't know what it's going to look like as far as who's playing and who's not. I know from being in the arena and for home games, Giannis is there like 3 to 4 hours before a game starts. Giannis and other players. So their routine is all kind of messed up. Now, I don't know if that's going to mean like there's a higher risk for injury, so they're going to sit Giannis.
That's what I'm thinking.
It's possible. It's very possible.
They must have a sauna, right? Can't the gentleman run in there and get a little
stretch on that little charter plane?
Yeah. And then that's probably what they're doing, Julia, to be honest with you. They're probably kind of prepping as they're on the plane. I tried to do some research to see when the last game for the NBA where a team flew in that day to play from plane to arena.
Yeah.
I couldn't find anything.
Interesting.
So I don't know. Like, this is a very unique situation. One we'll definitely remember for a while.
All right. The best producer out there, Brandon Snide, and Bucks shoot-around host. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
3:22 on WTMJ. Coming up next, Wisconsin connections to the Oscars. Nominations just announced this morning. Next.
Stop in and load up on great everyday essentials at Fleet Farm Stock-Up Sale. January 16th through the 29th. 40-pound bags of Morton Water Softener Salt are just $5.99. Superior hardwood fuel pellets are on sale for $5.49 a bag. And don't forget your backyard friends. 40-pound bags of black oil sunflower seed are just $14.99. Be sure to stock up on all your everyday favorites, all at the best prices, guaranteed, at Fleet Farm Stock-Up Sale.
I'm very familiar with Gruber Law offices because they're always out in the community.
Gruber Law offices are known to be honest, hardworking.
They're always involved in our neighborhoods.
Gruber Law offices make our community a better place.
They are the best.
For nearly 40 years, Gruber Law Offices has helped people throughout Wisconsin. If you're injured, we're here to help. One call, that's all.
Wisconsin would not be the same without Gruber Law offices.
Winning in the NFL comes down to the basics, blocking and tackling. In retirement, protection and income are the keys to success. Simply put, if you're nearing or in retirement, you can't afford a stock market crash. Hi, I'm Mitch Lyons. Having played on winning teams with the Steelers and Falcons, studying game film was a key to success. Now I'm a best-selling author and star in a new groundbreaking documentary film called The Retirement Deception. It unveils how the Wall Street machine has been deceiving us for decades and proves you don't need to risk your nest egg in the market to have the retirement you deserve. This film shows you exactly how to protect your retirement from stock market drops and produce more income than you thought possible. I want you to watch this film for free. Call today for your free copy of The Retirement Deception. I think you would agree 30 to 40 years of saving for retirement is at least worth a phone call to watch this film and see how you can improve your retirement. Call today to speak with an all-pro retirement specialist to get your free copy of The Retirement Deception. Call 844-763-2837. That's 844-763-2837. MitchLyonsWealth.com. Your best game plan to protect, grow, and win retirement.
Hey, John Mercure here for Guthrie and Fry Water Conditioning. My reverse osmosis system in my house is fantastic. The water I drink, the water we feed the dogs, the water we cook with is crisp, clean, and clear thanks to Guthrie and Fry's RO system. It's the best in the business. It's affordable, it's effective, and you'll feel a lot better. It's all about the science. They know at Guthrie and Fry that better water makes a big difference. Southeast Wisconsin's #1 choice and my choice is Guthrie and Fry Water Conditioning.
Better water makes a big difference. Guthrie and Fry.
Imagine all the things you dream of under one roof. You're thinking of eBay. Fashion, collectibles, car parts. It's all there. Go find the thing that keeps you up at night. eBay. Things people love.
Traffic is brought to you by Rejuvenix, your non-surgical joint therapy experts.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
Hooray for Hollywood.
I'm Sandy Maggs in for John Mercure with Julia Fellow on Wisconsin's Afternoon News. And even if you don't care about the Oscars, you have somebody to root for. Appleton actor Willem Dafoe.
Oh, yes.
He is in Nosferatu, and Nosferatu has been nominated in a couple of categories.
Good point.
Yeah.
And he's a UW Milwaukee graduate, too.
And everyone that I know who knows him, I don't know Willem Dafoe yet, but everybody that I know who knows him, he's so down to earth. Completely opposite of the peculiar, creepy, scary, ominous.
Christopher Walken kind of.
Yeah, that's a great analogy. And he plays a vampire hunter, Professor Alban Eberhard von Franz in Nosferatu. But I think he'll be back in a tuxedo again because he was there last year because of Poor Things. And he's been nominated for Academy Awards Platoon in 1986.
Whoa.
Shadow of the Vampire, funny enough, in 2000. The Florida Project in 2017. And he played Vincent van Gogh, the famous painter, at Eternity's Gate in 2018. So it'd be nice for a film that he's in to win so he could celebrate.
He deserves it.
I think so.
Spider-Man, not that he was nominated for an Oscar for that, but I mean, like, American Psycho. He was a detective in American Psycho.
He's really a versatile actor.
Oh, yes. And what was interesting in American Psycho is that the director said, play it three ways. So through the whole entire movie, William Dafoe knew that Christian Bale was a murderer, didn't know, like he had to play it three different ways.
That's an interesting approach.
So that's why when you're watching William Dafoe in that movie, he's hard to read because they use the different takes. That's really wide-ranging.
It's an interesting approach.
It really is. Do you have a favorite movie that you want to win or anybody that you're rooting for?
The only film that I've seen of the Best Pictures is Wicked, and there are 10 of them. But I will tell you that I did a little sniffing around since we were talking about wagering earlier, or lotteries. Vegas odds have Best Picture, Best Director, and Best Actor going to the movie The Brutalist. So I would say if you're going to watch anything and spend time, The Brutalist, it's about an architect who flees 1940s Germany and builds a life here in the States.
Is that the one with an intermission?
Probably.
Is it with...
Adrian Brody.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, I need to see that.
That's a film investment there. But that seems to be the favorite, and I definitely want to see The Brutalist. I also want to see A Complete Unknown, all about Bob Dylan.
Oh, yes. I've heard
with Timothy Chalamet.
Awesome. 328 on WTMJ. Time for your WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow was up 408, up 1% on the day. S&P 500 up 32, NASDAQ up 44. Annex Wealth Management, know the difference.
Are you waiting for a miracle to feel financially secure in retirement? In a recent study, over a third of millionaires predicted their ability to feel financially secure in retirement is going to take a miracle. At Annex Wealth Management, we believe a plan, not a miracle, will help increase your retirement confidence. Annex Wealth Management listens. Then, our team of experts gets to work using leading-edge technology to build a comprehensive plan that covers investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning. We stress test it, run it through countless variables. Then, and only then, we present a framework for a financial plan tailored to your goals in retirement. And unlike our competitors, Annex doesn't have any products to push. No hidden fees or commissions. There's too much of that out there already. We're a fee-only fiduciary, required to act in your best interest at all times. More planning, fewer miracles. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Build confidence in your future with Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference. AnnexWealth.com.
Hey, John Mercure here from my good friends at Connect Chiropractic, voted Milwaukee's top chiropractor by the Milwaukee Business Journal's readers. They help with headaches. They help with sleep concerns. They help me with my neck and my back. I kind of carry my stress in my upper neck area, and I wasn't feeling so great till I started going to Connect, and now I feel better all the time. I go every week. 2 locations, easy to get to. One in Tosa, one in Delafield. Dr. Alex, Dr. Marley, Dr. Olivia, they're going to take great care of you. They've got a long-term care focus on total wellness. It's Connect Chiropractic.
This is Evan Cohen from Unsportsmanlike on ESPN Radio. I'm reaching out with a message that's close to my heart. Devastating fires have ravaged the Los Angeles area, leaving families displaced, homes destroyed, and the community in need of help. Right now, you have the power to make a real difference. Your donation, big or small, can provide food, shelter, supplies, and much-needed support for those affected by the fires. If you are able to, please help those affected by the California wildfires and donate at www.lafoodbank.org/fire.
This report is sponsored by the Milwaukee Boat Show at State Fair Park.
Don't miss the Milwaukee Boat Show, January 17 through 26, State Fair Park. See over 300 boats from more than 80 manufacturers. Get that boat and get that deal.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It is 3:30. I'm Julia Fellow. Your top story, how soon will SROs be back in MPS?
I'm Sandy Max, in for John Mercure. Close to being confirmed.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. We do have southbound 41 backing up from before Appleton Avenue all the way down past Capitol Drive. Pretty typical stuff, though. Southbound 43 is going to be a bit slow south of Capitol Drive down towards Locust, and then again right through the Marquette. Westbound 94 backing up out of the Marquette all the way to Mitchell Boulevard, and eastbound 94 is slowing down from about 68th Street all the way through the Stadium Interchange to about 35th Street. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Cold tonight, low will be 4 degrees. Wind chill will make it feel like it's 5 below zero. A slight chance of snow tomorrow night. The high will be 20 degrees. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, President Donald Trump just signed an executive order, a slew of them, one of them to declassify the files on the assassinations of former President John F. Kennedy, who was assassinated, and civil rights icon Martin Luther King Jr. Trump had previously promised to release those records in his first term. He said everything will be revealed just a few minutes ago in the Oval Office. We'll have much more throughout our newscast.
A judge orders police officers back into Milwaukee Public Schools by February 17th. In the ruling today, the judge denied MPS's motion to dismiss the lawsuit filed by an MPS parent and the Wisconsin Institute for Law and Liberty over school safety. MPS is now ordered to comply with Act 12 and provide the legally required 25 school resource officers in all public schools during normal school hours no later than February 17th. If they fail to comply, the district will be required to appear in court. MPS has been out of compliance since January 1st, 2024.
In other big news we are following, despite losing the support of 2 Republicans, President Donald Trump's pick to lead the Pentagon is close to being confirmed. A procedural vote on Pete Hegseth's nomination passed with 51 Senate votes. ABC News' Stephen Portnoy.
The former Fox News host cleared the procedural hurdle with 51 votes in favor and 49 against. 2 Republicans, Lisa Murkowski of Alaska and Susan Collins of Maine, joined Senate Democrats in voting no on Pete Hegseth's nomination. A final vote is still in store, but it appears Hegseth will have enough support to be narrowly confirmed.
And that final confirmation vote could happen as soon as tomorrow or early Saturday.
At the first court hearing challenging President Trump's executive order limiting birthright citizenship, a judge quickly blocked the president's order.
It took mere minutes for the federal judge in Seattle who was appointed by Ronald Reagan to temporarily block President Trump's executive order limiting birthright citizenship, saying it appears to violate the 14th Amendment, which says that somebody born in the U.S. is a citizen. The judge slammed the president's order, saying it is blatantly unconstitutional, and asked where lawyers were when President Trump's executive order was being written. The judge saying he has never seen something so unconstitutional come before him. He's now blocking the executive order. Other challenges to the order are moving forward as well. Alex Stone, ABC News.
Federal immigration agents conducted the first large-scale arrest operations this week under the Trump administration, resulting in about 500 arrests so far. A former special agent with Homeland Security investigation says ICE targets have an easy choice.
They actually have the opportunity right now to self-deport themselves and remove themselves from the country to avoid all this.
ICE says those arrests have criminal histories, including sexual assault, robbery, and drug and weapons charges.
Nashville police say they are examining, quote, very concerning online writings and social media posts connected to the 17-year-old high school student who shot one student dead and hurt another before killing himself yesterday. Investigators are trying to determine what motivated Solomon Henderson to fire the gun at Antioch High School. Meanwhile, Metro Nashville Public Schools Superintendent Adrian Battle.
As we all know, this is an ongoing investigation, and unfortunately, FERPA laws do prevent me from sharing the details around the students' behavior and other details.
Investigators have not yet established a connection between Henderson and the victims, and the gunfire may have been random, according to a statement from police.
Here in Wisconsin, plans are being worked on to get the final Slenderman stabbing attacker ready for her release. Morgan Geyser has spent nearly 7 years in a state mental health facility in Oshkosh. She was sentenced to be in that mental health facility for 40 years.
The goal for Morgan Geyser from day one was the same as every patient at the Winnebago Mental Health Institute. Director Jesse Andrews.
The goal is to assess what their treatment needs are, provide them with expedited treatment as quickly as possible, work to help them psychiatrically stabilize, and return them back to the community as swiftly as possible.
Some patients stay for a short term. Others, like Geyser, stay for years.
We are constantly assessing throughout the duration of someone's hospitalization here their response to treatment, their clinical status, their progress, and their discharge readiness.
Jessica Ty, WTMJ News.
Master Lock's parent company will close its office in Oak Creek. Fortune Brands Innovations is consolidating its operations to Deerfield, Illinois. The location there, the news comes about 10 months after Master Lock closed its historic plant on Milwaukee's north side. The Milwaukee Business Journal reports the move will affect about 120 employees in Oak Creek. The relocations are expected to be completed by September.
Milwaukee Area Technical College enters an agreement with the Bucks to share an athletic training facility in the Deer District. Just happened yesterday. It'll be built across Pfizer Forum and just blocks from MATC's downtown campus. The proposed 7-story building would house a 28,000 square foot double gymnasium, fitness center, and meeting rooms on the ground floor, plus apartments and more than 275 parking spaces. The project would break ground this summer, with the first games coming in the fall of next year.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update. From the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. The Bucks are now in the air to get back in time for their game tonight against the Miami Heat at Pfizer Forum. Last night's game against the Pelicans was postponed due to snowy weather in New Orleans. Our coverage currently set to start at 6 p.m. right after Wisconsin's afternoon news, but we'll keep you updated on any changes. UWM beats Wright State 95-79 in Horizon League play last night. The Panthers take on Northern Kentucky tomorrow night.
Outdoor Living Unlimited News Time, 3:37.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here, asking you to join me in October as my wife and I explore the magical kingdoms of Southeast Asia, from the villages of Vietnam and the temples of Cambodia to the friendly locals of Laos and the beachside resort in stunning, lively Thailand. I hope you'll join us for this unforgettable journey. ancient and mysterious worlds of rural landscapes, bustling cities, and fascinating history in Vietnam. Explore the Chu Chi tunnels used by the Viet Cong. Experience a street food adventure through Hanoi and cherish the serenity of Hai Long Bay on a beautiful boat ride. Bangkok in Thailand, the beaches in Thailand, history, tradition, food. If you'd like more information on this great trip, send me an email. john.mercure@wtmj.com. john.mercure@wtmj.com. It's Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos. I'm super jazzed about this trip. Send me an email. I send you the info. john.mercure, MERCURE, @wtmj.com.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
3:38 on WTMJ. The police chief for the town of Geneva called this next story you're about to hear the hardest call his officers have ever had to go to. Chief Anthony Maselli was interviewed on nearly every news channel yesterday, his voice cracking every time as he laid out what investigators showed up to at about 2:30 in the morning Monday, that a little boy was shot and killed by his stepfather. This happened near Kale and Lincoln Drive, right in an ordinary ranch home painted olive green. Officers arrived there and found a lifeless boy on the ground, on the floor of the bathroom, actually, who was shot right under his chin. Very serious. The first officer who got there says the child was still breathing, even though the wounds was in the neck area. The officer then immediately tried to stop the bleed, performed CPR, rushed to the hospital. Staff did all they could, doctors. But the little boy, we now identified as Michael Maker, 8 years old, who was visiting Wisconsin from Chicago suburbs near Brookfield, died an hour later. The person now charged with reckless murder this afternoon is the child's stepfather, 52-year-old Stephen Merkel. We have a mugshot of the stepfather who's now charged again with reckless homicide of 8-year-old Michael Maker on our live stream. You can see the mugshot if you text WATCH to 855-616-1620. Watch to our Citing Unlimited Talk and Text line. He's behind bars tonight at the Walworth County Jail, and I just read through the court records because police were not saying how this exactly happened. And reckless homicide charge, it was listed since Monday in the Walworth County Jail as an arrest for first-degree murder. If you're convicted of reckless homicide, you can get up to 5 years in prison. First-degree murder, life, so big difference. So court records show what they know right now, what they're alleging. The child was dropped off at the stepfather's house at about 10 o'clock Sunday night. The stepfather, Stephen Merkel, admitted to police he had been drinking, quote, just 2 little drinks of rum and RC. Then said the boy, quote, did something stupid and it wasn't the 8-year-old's fault. Stephen Merkel says he was showing the 8-year-old guns to look cool before this deadly shooting happened. First showing the 8-year-old a stun gun. He told police he pointed it towards the child and pressed the button for it to make a popping noise, and he told police the child looked really scared. He told police, quote, he was trying to look cool and exciting still to his stepson and decided to grab a 9mm handgun to show the 8-year-old. He said he took out the clip, thought because the magazine to the gun was out, the gun was empty, because there was no clip in it. Then he told police he walked back into the room his stepson was in, pointed the gun at the boy, and pulled the trigger. He said he expected to hear a click, but instead he heard a loud boom. So this stepfather is now claiming to authorities that this was all an accident. So he told police he did not think the gun was loaded when he pointed a 9mm handgun right at the 8-year-old's face and pulled the trigger. Police say the suspect was covered in blood when they arrived. And get this, it's really disturbing. Records show the stepfather, who has admitted to police, according to court records, that he shot the child, at first called a family member after he allegedly shot the boy. And that family member told him, call 911. So now we have an 8-year-old boy, so beautiful, blue eyes, blonde hair, every photo, he's so happy. Michael Maker. The school district sent out a note saying that he was a Brook Park Elementary student. District leaders saying that he was always happy, made his classmates laugh, and loved to play soccer. Now there's funeral plans happening. I looked at this suspect's criminal history, the 52-year-old stepfather, and there's not much. But in the 1990s, he was charged with disorderly conduct. So I asked Waukesha County for a copy of those records. They have to go in the basement and get copies. So I want to see what that's all about. So I'm still waiting to get that. But we are following this case, and it's a hard one, Sandy.
It's shocking.
I know.
It's absolutely shocking. And as you went through that, you can picture it all unfolding. And when one decision changes everybody's life that badly, and what a dumb decision.
And takes a life.
And you're around kids. It's just awful.
I know. It's 3:43 on WTMJ. Coming up next, we have legal analyst Olivia Rubin with us. What is going on at the border as 1,500 soldiers, members of our military are now on the border dealing with immigration issues.
Creative Planning presents Rethink Your Money with John Hagenson, Saturday afternoon at 2. Learn the answers to the financial questions that keep you up at night and get the latest news, tips, and takes to help you make the most of your money. For even more insights, go to creativeplanning.com/radio. At Creative Planning, our team of wealth managers works with in-house CPAs and attorneys to ensure you can rest easy knowing every aspect of your wealth is taken care of. Visit creativeplanning.com/radio.
Hey, John Mercure here from my friends at Dave Dregkamp Heating. When you experience temperatures 10 degrees below zero, more than 15 inches of snow, rain showers, and sunny days in the low 40s, all in a 3-week period, it can only mean one thing. You live in Wisconsin, and that prepared you to be ready for anything. Because here in Wisconsin, anything can happen with our weather. But fear not. For over 42 years, Dave Dregkamp Heating has lived here too, right by your side, ready and prepared for when anything happens. Spring, summer, fall, or winter, even when they all seem to happen at once, whenever you're experiencing a home comfort dilemma, just call the teams I trust at Dave Dregkamp Heating. From free estimates for new equipment, routine maintenance to ensure your system is ready for anything, or because you simply have a question about your home comfort, call 262-367-2820. 262-367-2820. Dave Dregkamp Heating, because your comfort is their family's tradition. DaveDregkamp.com.
By now, you've probably figured out what's most important to us at Semperfi is our reputation. Building a great character-driven remodeling company is actually quite easy. It's just the first 20 years that are a bit challenging. Great companies are collections of great people, and we have great people. They're the ones that helped us build our reputation, but they only come after you've built something they want to be part of. We don't necessarily have to look for good people. They come to us. And that's what you want when you hire an exterior remodeling company. Someone who's going to stand behind their work, and a company that is truly proud of their people. And it's because they do great work. And when you're ready, we'll do great work for you too. This is Brad Youngluth with Semperfi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semperfi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry, Semperfi.
We're on the air in 3, 2...
Hey, it's Vince Vitrano.
John Mercure here.
Wait, does that car say Pella on the side? What's Gina Della doing here?
Sorry, I'm late.
We're on the air in 3, 2...
Recognize my voice? Get used to it.
Talk all things Windows, business, and being a boss in more ways than one with Gina Della for Pella's very own show right here on WTMJ. Starting February 1st, tune into What's the Difference every Saturday morning at 6:30 or stream anytime on WTMJ.com.
What a tease.
Traffic and then weather. Let's get to our Debbie Lazaga.
Okay, eastbound 94 is going to be a little bit slow from 84th Street to about Hawley Road, and then back on the brakes coming out of the Stadium interchange to 35th. The westbound side backed up out of the Marquette all the way past Mitchell Boulevard. Southbound 43's got some backups basically from Capitol Drive all the way down to North Avenue. Back on the brakes from Fond du Lac Avenue down through the Marquette and over the high-rise. Southbound on 41, still heavy from Appleton Avenue all the way down past Capitol Drive, almost to Burleigh. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Well, tonight the low will be 4 degrees. Wind chill will make it feel like it's 5 below zero. Slight chance of snow tomorrow night. The high will be 20 degrees. Saturday, sunny with a high of 34. Sunny Sunday with a high of 27. Then cloudy Monday with a high of 37 degrees. Right now it's 16 degrees in Milwaukee. All right. Lots of news coming out of Washington, D.C. President Donald Trump sent 1,500 additional troops, mix of active duty and Army, Marines, to the border. We have Olivia Rubin, ABC News investigative reporter. Olivia, what's the latest on the border?
Yeah, well, like you said, we do have those deployments heading down there. Those are underway, according to a military official. But I think it's important to dig into what they're actually going to be doing down there. Again, a military official saying that none of the forces being sent so far are intended to be used for law enforcement purposes. They're deployments that are including aerial support and helicopters, as well as intelligence analysts for enhanced protection and monitoring activities, but still a notable show of force. And it also comes, I would add, as two U.S. officials are telling us that 4 military cargo planes are now being positioned for future use in deportation flights. So that could take some time there.
What do you think that means? There's also different facilities like military bases that are being possibly converted as well. So is that foreshadowing what's ahead?
I certainly think it could be. You know, they've spoken at length, the Trump administration and his allies, about the desire for mass deportations. Of course, it's something there was reporting that there could have been one this week in Chicago, but the border czar Tom Homan ended up sort of walking back that plan. But again, yeah, I think it's foreshadowing there, as you said. But it's also important to note that, you know, the Trump administration today is walking up to some legal roadblocks in their plans. Of course, Trump signed that executive order against birthright citizenship, but that was actually blocked by a judge in Seattle today, a federal judge, saying that it was blatantly unconstitutional.
Okay, and also what I saw was that ICE says there have been some arrests with the first large-scale arrest operation this week under the Trump administration. They say that there's been hundreds of arrests already.
That's an interesting one. That was something that Caroline Leavitt, as far as I saw, said today, that there have been 500 arrests and that they are being sent home. So we're certainly pushing for more details on that. Also on the front of ICE, you know, it's interesting to note that ICE also received some new directives. They now are able to conduct raids in what's known as a sensitive area, which is a courthouse. That changes an older policy that had blocked that because, again, it was a sensitive area, saying that they're now just directed to use common sense.
Talking with ABC News investigative reporter Olivia Rubin. You are right there in Washington, D.C., and I feel like President Trump is going to get a hand cramp with all the executive orders he is signing. What are some of the newest, freshest executive orders as of this afternoon?
Yep, I think a hand cramp is certainly possible. We're seeing a flurry of executive orders. I think some of the newest ones that we're seeing today is an executive order aimed at potentially looking at creating a crypto stockpile. He also signed an executive order to declassify the JFK, RFK, and MLK assassination files. So again, more executive orders.
So Olivia, when that executive order is made to release those files, how soon could we see it?
That's a good question. I think that it's something we can definitely push for more guidance on. But I think as we've seen so far, you know, they've been moving quickly on some of this stuff. Though, again, some things are running into legal challenges or some things are taking some more time there.
I would think that with Robert Kennedy Jr. being so close to Donald Trump now that he would be very curious to be seeing those files and might be goosing that along.
You'd have to think so.
Yeah.
I certainly, that could definitely be a possibility. RFK is certainly busy getting ready for his confirmation hearing, which has now been scheduled for next week. But certainly if he gets passed and ends up in the Trump administration, that would be something to watch for.
ABC News legal analyst Olivia Rubin, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. So there's some other news that's been going on. Denmark in the headlines. They're still fixated on President Trump's interest in Greenland. A Danish member of the European Parliament, Anders Vistisen, said this, and it's going viral.
Dear President Trump, listen very carefully. Greenland has been part of the Danish kingdom for 800 years. It's an integrated part of our country. It is not for sale. Let me put it in words you might understand. Mr. Trump, f*** off.
Oh,
yeah,
my.
I know. That was in France when he spoke before the European Parliament. So
it's direct, but the art of diplomacy seems to be a little missing there.
Yeah, there's no mix up in translation.
That's straightforward. You talk about Denmark. When Greenland first came up, and then the Denmark connection, my mind rolled back. Remember, election night, one of my assignments was to be at No Studios, and there was a big election night viewing party for a lot of Get Out the Vote organizations. So went there, met some people, interviewed some people, and one of the surprise people I met was a TV anchor from Denmark. Her name's Divya Das, and she has been covering news for decades there.
So
and
she came to Wisconsin to cover the election.
Specifically Wisconsin, because it was a swing state, but it was like, okay, I don't mean to be kind of dim, but it must be that important to Denmark and your viewers. Like, how important is it? Is there a specific topic that they're interested in? And this is what Divya Das shared.
The umbrella that NATO is and the force that the states is within NATO. It is very important to us as Europeans is that there is a U.S. that we can rely on. And I think many Danes will be looking at what happens here and making plans accordingly.
Yeah, so she was talking about NATO, right? And was she specifically talking about Greenland even back then?
Just more the overall security of that, of Europe and those relationships and allyships and alliances. And I've traded notes with her since that. I was like, oh, wow, Greenland, that must have been a surprise. And she said, absolutely, it shocked our nation. And the visit by Donald Trump Jr., which was supposedly a surprise, yet wasn't a surprise, that it really is a confusing time for them in Denmark now that this Greenland subject has been brought up so pointedly.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, it was like he was wined and dined when he went to Greenland. Like there was a lot of people meeting with him. He was talking to a lot of people behind the scenes. I know that President Trump said in his first term that strategically, militarily, like it's a perfect location for military installations to be, and if it was for sale. So,
and if you like the cold,
yes,
it reminds me of Siberia. It's like, oh,
I know.
Greenland
I looked at the population
not
of Greenland.
A friendly climate.
Yeah, it's like 55,000 people who live in there in the country.
It's a big country.
Yeah. Okay, it's 3:55 on WTMJ. We have your traffic, weather, and top stories up next.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
A new coffee shop is planned for Milwaukee's Walker's Point neighborhood. Michigan-based Azal Coffee plans to open its first Milwaukee location as part of a national expansion this year. The Middle Eastern coffee shop is planned for South 1st Street. Nearly 300 homes could be coming to Germantown as HomePath Financial plans 283 housing units on 88 acres at the northeast corner of Lannon Road and County Line Road. There would be a mix of single-family homes, townhomes, and ranch-style duplexes. The CEO of Briggs & Stratton said the company is committed to remaining in Metro Milwaukee, and its private equity owner has no immediate plans to sell the business. The Wauwatosa-based company was sold out of bankruptcy in 2020, and the company struggled financially through 2023. I'm Teddy Nykel from MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on 620 WTMJ.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
You got to get to Built Right today. Vince Vetrano to tell you about Built Right's extended New Year's mattress sale. Their one location saves you time and money, and they make it easy to shop, easy to buy. Built Right beats any big box, national or local chain store, department store, employee-free store, online retailer, or warehouse club because they have the guaranteed lowest prices. Built Right also has the best value, selection, and experienced team in Wisconsin. Over 60 models, 500 mattresses in stock. Choose from the best mattress brands made in the USA: Heirloom, Gold Bond, Therapeutic, Restonic, and Schiffman. Built Right specializes in hard-to-find, flippable, two-sided, and heavy-duty mattresses that hold up to 600 pounds. Plus, Built Right offers free delivery and removal on mattress-only purchases of $7.99 or more. Built Right saves you money. Voted best place to shop. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Sunday, closed to be with family. Make sure to tell them Vinny sent you to Built Right, just off of 894, 54th and Layton Avenue in Greenfield.
I've just been feeling so sluggish lately. You should try the Metamucil 2-Week Challenge. The Metamucil 2-Week Challenge? Yeah, Metamucil 4-in-1 Fiber helps trap and remove the waste that weighs you down. Start your daily routine now, and in 2 weeks, you could be feeling great. Well, it's been 2 weeks. How you feeling? Lighter and feeling great.
If you want to feel lighter by promoting digestive health, sign up to take the 2-week challenge at Metamucil.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Morning, Paula.
Morning, Ron.
Another day in Adminville, am I right?
What are you working on? Oh!
You okay?
Your tabs. You have so many open.
Yeah, gotta order lunch for the big client meeting. With great responsibility comes tabs.
I can help. Close all those tabs and open just one, EasyCater.com. Online ordering from local restaurants, plus tools to save time, stay on budget, track expenses.
One tab to rule them all.
EasyCater, the smarter way to order food for work. Order now at EasyCater.com.
For over a century, local radio has evolved with the needs of the community. From politics to pop culture, we keep you informed, bringing you the most relevant news, online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Get out and enjoy your yard. Outdoor Living Unlimited puts cool stuff in your yard. Patios, decks, pergolas, outdoor kitchens, screen rooms, even in-ground pools. You dream it, we design it together, then Outdoor Living Unlimited installs it for you. OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
Keeping you informed, keeping you safe, keeping you engaged and entertained. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It is 4 o'clock. I'm Julia Fellow. This is Wisconsin's afternoon news for Thursday, January 23rd. Your top story: Milwaukee Public Schools ordered by a judge to comply with the law to have school resource officers in school.
I'm Sandy Max in for John Mercure, advancing the nomination to lead the Pentagon.
I'm Debbie Lazaga, and we do have a crash near the Hale interchange, southbound 894. Just before you get to Cold Spring Road, looks like the right lane is partially blocked right now, so that's why we're seeing some delays heading through there from about Oklahoma Avenue on down. Eastbound 94 slowing from about 84th Street to 35th. Westbound is heavy from 16th all the way to Hawley Road. Southbound 43 backups from Capitol Drive through the Marquette. Northbound's backed up right around the North Avenue curve all the way up past Keefe. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Cold tonight, the low will be 4 degrees. Wind chills will make it feel like it's 5 below zero. A slight chance of snow tomorrow night. The high will be 20 degrees. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, President Donald Trump has signed an executive order aiming to declassify remaining federal records relating to the assassinations of President John F. Kennedy, Senator Robert F. Kennedy, and Martin Luther King Jr.
A lot of people are waiting for this for years, for decades. And everything will be revealed.
Everything will be revealed, he says. We have not seen anything yet. As soon as we do, we will be breaking it live for you.
A judge orders police officers back into Milwaukee Public Schools by February 17th. In the ruling today, the judge denied MPS's motion to dismiss the lawsuit filed by an MPS parent and the Wisconsin Institute for Law and Liberty over school safety. MPS is now ordered to comply with Act 12 and provide the legally required 25 school resource officers in all public schools during normal school hours no later than February 17th. If they fail to comply, the district will be required to appear in court. MPS has been out of compliance since January 1st of 2024.
Pete Hegseth's nomination to lead the Pentagon advanced in the Senate, clearing the way for a final vote. Before the 51-49 vote, Democratic leader Chuck Schumer took aim at Hegseth, citing allegations of heavy drinking and mistreatment of women.
If there was one word that should never, ever describe a Secretary of Defense, it is erratic. But that is the one word that describes Mr. Hegseth best.
The Senate plans to take a final vote on Hegseth tomorrow.
Just 2 days after President Donald Trump signed an executive order revoking birthright citizenship, a federal judge temporarily blocked it, calling it a violation of the Constitution. A short time later, President Trump reacted from the Oval Office, pledging to fight it.
Obviously, we'll appeal it. They put it before a certain judge in Seattle, I guess, right? And there's no surprises with that judge.
The judge, appointed by Ronald Reagan over 40 years ago, is also considering long-term injunction.
Officials in Tennessee say an AI system meant to detect weapons at Antioch High School failed to spot a student's gun. Adrian Battle, superintendent of Metro Nashville Public Schools, has more.
Tensions are high, and many rumors have been circulating about threats to other schools. Please know that we continue to work closely with MNPD to investigate all threats.
Officials say the weapon system was not able to detect the weapon because of where the shooter was and the position of the weapon.
Here in Milwaukee, a triple shooting on the city's north side last night leaves one person dead and 2 hurt. 22-year-old Jocelyn Jimenez died at the scene. 2 people in their 50s were taken to the hospital with injuries. Police arrested a 32-year-old. The shooting comes just hours after 17-year-old Zanaya Booker died in a shooting near 28th and Atkinson.
Kenosha police are asking for your help to find a missing teen. 18-year-old Kayla Subsack was last seen leaving 12th Avenue and 60th Street in Kenosha at about 11 p.m. December 17th. Reportedly picked up by an unknown man in a gray sedan. It's unclear where she went. Subsack has a history of mental health episodes and drug addiction. You can find details about her and her disappearance at WTMJ.com.
Who is calling you? Stoughton police are warning of a new phone scam. Callers are claiming to be either from Stoughton Police or the Dane County Sheriff's Office and saying that there are arrest warrants out that need to be paid with gift cards. Police remind that they never call individuals to resolve warrants or request gift cards. Suspicious calls can be reported to police.
Coming up, pizza for breakfast?
Oh, Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 4:04.
This report is sponsored by Siding Unlimited. It's siding and a whole lot more. SidingUnlimited.com.
America's Best installer of America's Best replacement windows does not have the word windows in their name. Their name is Siding. Siding Unlimited. Hey, the Sons took Dad's siding business and ran with it. Siding Unlimited, the family-owned Wisconsin company, keeps climbing to the top of Pella Windows of Pella, Iowa's awards. Siding Unlimited, one of only 5 Pella Premier installers in the whole country. But better than that, the top. For 4 of the past 5 years, Pella has honored Siding Unlimited as their National Certified Contractor of the Year. You want windows? Pay Wisconsin prices with this great local company, delivering National Championship award-winning service. Great craftsmanship, clean up behind, and leave the job better than before and better than expected. You know, the company with Wisconsin family values. Pride in integrity, pride in people, pride in Wisconsin. SidingUnlimited.com.
You're right, and I'll agree. It does sound too good to be true. But offering you affordable treatment that alleviates pain, which really does work, that we've seen in most cases insurance paid for in full, is a definite reality. It's pain relief, really. And these are FDA-approved treatments. They're safe and proven to reduce inflammation and alleviate pain. Yeah, you'll have to get a couple of shots, and I know that can scare people. But the needle is extremely small, and after giving shots like this hundreds of thousands of times, you'll see we make it very easy. You're going to feel the relief that our powerful pain relief agents give you. They're pain relief drugs that solve pain problems. And the way I feel is that Rejuvenex should be the first stop for anyone living with pain in shoulders, hips, elbows, and knees. At $65 per joint, per injection, it's probably the most affordable pain relief option available that actually works.
Rejuvenex. Alleviate your pain. Rejuvenate your life.
Rejuvenex Google reviews will tell you more.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 4:07.
Just about everyone loves pizza, and as News Nation's Nick Smith reports, you'll soon be able to enjoy that taste in your cereal.
Well, Cinnamon Toast Crunch is pairing the savory flavor of Totino's pizza rolls with the sweetness and shape of its signature cereal. Starting Tuesday, you can score a box of this savory sweet limited edition collab on Cinnamon Toast Crunch's online store. Now, reaction on social media appears to be equal parts horrified and excited. The timing of this new cereal coincides with Totino's airing its first Super Bowl ad.
And General Mills says it's going to be served up in a pizza delivery box inspired package.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. The Milwaukee Bucks are in the air to get back in time for their game tonight against the Miami Heat at Fiserv Forum. The team was stuck in New Orleans, where last night's game against the Pelicans was postponed due to all the snow. Tip-off for the Bucks versus the Heat is updated, now set for 7:30 tonight. Our coverage will begin at 7, right after What's on Tap. Meanwhile, UWM beat Wright State 95-79 in Horizon League play last night. Panthers take on Northern Kentucky tomorrow night.
And there should be a police escort for our Milwaukee Bucks to get to Fiserv Forum right away.
And get them warmed up.
And Debbie Lazaga is keeping her eyes on that and your roads. Outdoor Living Unlimited News Time, 4:08.
I found a fountain of youth down there at QC Kinetics.
That's Henry Hinton, feeling like his young, active self again after treatments at QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine.
I still have trouble walking down steps as I get older. I've had one treatment so far, and I can already tell a difference in my knee.
And that treatment at QC Kinetics used Henry's own natural healing properties, concentrated and placed right at the source of the pain. So Henry and patients just like him will enjoy long-term relief without surgery or downtime.
My knee is not hurting. I remember I was walking down some steps yesterday, and I thought, wow, this is not hurting when I walk down steps. I'm all in on it. I'm all in on QC Kinetics.
It's time to wind back the clock to days without constant joint pain. Start with a call to QC Kinetics today.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is on the air. Broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here are your hosts, Julia Fellow and Sandy Max.
Hey there, I'm Sandy Max. Like you just heard with Julia Fellow. Thanks for letting me hang out with you on Wisconsin's Afternoon News while John Mercure is shoveling snow or brushing snow off in South Carolina.
Couldn't even find a shovel. And then our Milwaukee Bucks are in the air right now, set to land at an ETA not known, but the game should start a little bit later at 7:30. So
that's what I'm talking about.
That's what I'm talking about. And then Sandy, you're going to be on What's on Tap
from 6 to 7, planning to share the Bob Uecker tribute show that we did because
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, because it's still leaving a baseball-sized hole in our heart. But I have good news, Bob Uecker fans. Mm-hmm. You could see Major League at the movies again on the big screen starting tomorrow night through January 30th. So it isn't just like a one-night-only thing. Thursday or tonight through January 30th at Marcus Theaters all around Wisconsin, you can see Major League on the big screen, which I just think is so fun because it was filmed here in 1989. And in the summer of 1988. Ask around. I bet you know somebody who was an extra at County Stadium or somehow involved in the filming. And to see Milwaukee at that time in 1989 and just to see this complete cast of characters that's on the team, in addition to Bob Uecker playing Harry Doyle on the big screen and here and just a bit outside with a group of people. I think it's one of those movies, take your buddies, and it gets even better. It's a bargain at the box office. to see Major League at the Marcus Theaters. You know how much the tickets are?
$5.40.
Yes, and it's because Bob was the voice of the Brewers for 54 years. So for less than $6, you get a great movie, and you're also doing a good deed because a portion of those ticket proceeds go to the Brewers Community Foundation.
Who's on the air that long, ever, these days? I mean, is that incredible?
And is great.
Oh, to the very end.
You never
to the very end.
Wisconsin made movies on the big screen. So you've got Major League, which was filmed here in Wisconsin.
Post-game show is brought to you by... Christ, I can't find it. The hell with it.
That's just one of the moments.
Excellent.
People are going to be laughing out loud. I love it. So Major League at the Marcus Theaters now through Thursday. Green and Gold, which we've been talking about, which is the film with Craig T. Nelson, who plays the dairy farmer who bets his farm on the Green Bay Packers. What I've seen of it so far looks really good and heartwarming, and that will be in the movies not just in Wisconsin, but all around the country next Friday, January 31st. So more Wisconsin on the big screen. And I want to tell you about a movie that you probably don't know about because it's brand new and fresh, called The Omro Heist. And it's about a bank robbery that turns into a hostage situation with some unexpected twists. This is a sample of The Omro Heist.
Banks are the new evil in our world today. They hold the whip over every man. But not today.
Everybody freeze! It means you later rise! When you name drop, you understand me?
That is just a sample of what the Omro Heist will be about. And actually, if you go to our WTMJ YouTube live stream, producer Brandon has been streaming the trailer so you can get a good look at it, so you can see what Omro looks like.
It has like an amber look to it.
It does. It's very stylish. It's, for as much as we call it an independent film, and it did win the award for Best Feature Film last November at the Wisconsin Independent Film Festival, it is cinematically
beautiful.
Yeah, aerial shots. I mean, it doesn't look like, quote, an indie film that's like gritty and amateur. And it was filmed entirely in Omro last year in 8 days. And if you're not familiar with where Omro is, it's close to Oshkosh, about 3,600 people. So it really does capture the small town feel. And it's not just an action-packed, heist thriller. It's got family elements. Anthony Crivello, who's the Tony Award winner, who grew up here in Milwaukee, he plays the police sheriff, and his son comes back, who's an FBI agent, and there's a love interest there because, of course, the son's high school sweetheart is there, and she's one of the bank tellers. So it really is a fun story. And if you ever watched Fubar on Netflix with Arnold Schwarzenegger, Irish actor Simon Phillips plays the blackmailing bank robber in this Omro heist movie. Yeah, it's really good. And the guy who plays the greedy mayor is Ken Bressers, and he lives in Omro and is an actor, and he's co-producing and making this movie happen. So the Omro Heist is what to look for, and you can see it on the big screen Monday and Tuesday next week.
Okay.
And the following week. So 27, 28 of January and February 3rd and 4th at the Avalon in Bayview and at the Rosebud in Tosa. So look it up, the Omro Heist. It's like you'll support local filmmaking and you'll really enjoy the ride. And I'm squeamish, so I don't like gore. When it comes to like, we're going to have hostages. What are we going to do to them? It is not a gory film. It's suspenseful, and it's a really fun story that I won't give away an ending, but I did like the ending.
Oh, good.
I'll say, yeah. So January 27, 28, February 3rd, Monday and Tuesday of the next 2 weeks, you can see the Omro Heist.
Super cool. That's awesome. All right, 4:15 on WTMJ. Deb has a look at the skies and the roads because our Milwaukee Bucks are flying in, going to land, going to get a police escort to Fiserv. The game is going to be delayed a little bit. It's supposed to be at 7:30. So she's getting a check of that. Our traffic and your weather are next.
Tony Drake here from Drake & Associates. Big news. Our Retirement Ready radio show is moving to a new time slot. Catch us at noon every Saturday. At Drake & Associates, we craft tailor-made plans that not only meet your financial needs, but align seamlessly with your unique lifestyle. Tune in at noon on Saturdays and get retirement ready.
Drake & Associates, LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates, LLC does not provide legal or tax advice.
Does hosting for the holidays make you realize you need a home remodel?
As a family-owned and operated business for over 40 years, J&J Contractors knows the importance of family gathering. Let them customize the perfect kitchen, luxurious bathroom, or a finished lower level for all your entertaining needs. Turn your house into the home of your dreams with J&J Contractors. Schedule your free consultation today. Just Google J&J Contractors or call 414-423-9200. J&J Contractors. Welcome home.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductee, Peter Frampton. Let's Do It Again tour. April 15th, the Riverside Theater. Grammy winner, the one and only Peter Frampton. On sale Friday, January 24th, 10 a.m. at papstheatergroup.com.
A buck doesn't buy much unless you're spending it at Griffin. For just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand, $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. We'll even show you the invoice to prove it. Our only requirements, we put them on for you. Buy one or the whole set. The dollar deal from Griffin. Milwaukee, Waukesha, Fort Atkinson, and Jefferson. Griffin. The buck stops here. The deals on tires don't. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers.
Let's go to your traffic and then your weather. Debbie Lozica, how are the roads looking?
Looking okay right now. If you're worried about the way things are between the airport and downtown, all roads are looking okay at the moment, knock on wood, really quickly. But we do have some delays southbound 43 coming in from just south of Capitol Drive, pretty much solid all the way down into the Marquette. The westbound sides from 16th Street all the way to Holly Road's going to be a bit slow. Eastbound's going to be backed up from 84th Street to 35th. We do still have this accident on 894 southbound. This is just before you get to Cold Spring Road. It looks like it's off on the right shoulder, so you do want to give yourself a little bit of extra time if you're going to be heading through that area. Otherwise, we've got pretty much standard delays from Appleton Avenue all the way down past Capitol Drive on 41 southbound. Northbound's backed up north of North Avenue all the way past Burleigh. I'm Debbie Lozica with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Cold tonight. Low will be 4 degrees. Wind chills will make it feel like it's 5 below zero. Slight chance of snow tomorrow night. The high will be 20 degrees. Saturday sunny with a high of 34. Sunny Sunday with a high of 27. Then cloudy Monday with a high of 37 degrees. Right now it's 15 degrees in Milwaukee.
The Bears still suck. The Bears still suck. The Bears still suck. The Bears still suck.
I would love to get your thoughts on what we're about to talk about next. Our Siding Unlimited talk and text line is 855-616-1620. That's 855-616-1620. With 5 wins and 12 losses on the season, the new Bears head coach has a lot of work to do. Is already adding to the fire of the Packers-Bears rivalry. Ben Johnson has been Detroit's offensive coordinator for the past 3 seasons, and the team apparently spent in the ballpark, Sandy, of $13 million per season to bag him. That's according to Bleacher Report.
I believe it.
Apparently, part of his job is to keep the Packers fans ticked off. Take a listen. This is his first little, news conference.
I know this is the toughest division of football right now. There's 3 teams that made the playoffs this year. I've got tremendous amount of respect for the coaches and the players in this league. Having competed against them for the last 6 years. Dan Campbell, Kevin O'Connell, you're talking about 2 guys that are up for Coach of the Year awards as the season ends here. And to be quite frank with you, I kind of enjoyed beating Matt LaFleur twice a year. I know this is the toughest division of.
Okay, there's no laughing with that. Well, he's a comedian, I guess. If you want to,
but when he said that was a long gap. He thought somebody was going to chuckle or applaud. Nobody in that press room responded to when he talked about Matt LaFleur.
It was crickets.
And after I've had experience working with the Milwaukee Brewers and some other sports teams, it's like you never want to be bulletin board material. That's what they call that. So you think you're going to beat us now?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so if you text 855-616-1620, I'd love to give you your thoughts. Great tweets on this. I was looking at the tweets about this. One person tweeted, Good thing he said enjoyed rather than joy because it's going to be a thing of the past.
See?
Another person tweeted, coaches talking smack is beautiful. All right. But he was saying nice things about the two other coaches. What did Matt LaFleur do to him? Matt LaFleur hasn't tweeted. I just looked this afternoon. Maybe he has, but I didn't see anything so far. Okay, I like this one. This guy had his lunch money taken from him on the daily back in high school. The other one was, what an adorable little brother.
Huh.
This guy and Caleb Williams are perfect for each other.
Oh!
Okay, and our Brandon Snide, huge Packers fan, you tweeted about this too. What was your tweet?
I always got tweets, yes. At first, I thought, well, it's another Bears coach talking about the Packers in his introductory press conference. Lovie Smith did it. Most head coaches that have been hired by the Chicago Bears, which, keep in mind, there have been multiple head coaches that have been hired by the Chicago Bears over the last decade, have all mentioned the Green Bay Packers. So I kind of assumed, like, okay, it's just another coach just trying to take a dig at the Packers. But then the more I thought about it, Julia and Sandy, I tweeted this out this morning, and this was my tweet. I'll read it verbatim. The more I hear or read about this, the more I love what Ben Johnson did for two exact reasons. Number one, ignite the rivalry once again between the Green Bay Packers and the Chicago Bears, because as we all know, Green Bay has literally owned Chicago. They've beaten us one time in over a decade, and it lights a fire under Matt LaFleur, or at least I hope it lights a fire under Matt LaFleur, and maybe that is what they needed. And they didn't have a good finish to the year this year. They lost their last two games, including a game to the Chicago Bears.
Yeah, they won 11 games this season compared to the Bears losing a dozen.
And I've always said this, if you're a Chicago Bears fan, if your sole purpose in life, which at least it seems like on social media, is to only beat the Green Bay Packers,
it really
you
is.
have a sad, pathetic life.
It is. Honestly,
we
it
live
really is.
rent-free in their heads right now.
What'd you say,
That's what
Deb?
Vince said this morning. Vince said this morning that we live rent-free in that guy's head right now, the Green Bay Packers.
First off, for the Packers, Julia and Sandy and Debbie, they finished third in the division, right above Chicago.
A tough division.
So I would aim, if you're Ben Johnson, Mr. Johnson, and now in Chicago, I would aim for higher aspirations than beating the third-place team.
Yeah.
It's not going to get you anywhere.
And Packers went to the wild card playoffs.
They've went to the playoffs the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Chicago hasn't been to the playoffs in a few years. They haven't been to a Super Bowl since 2005 or 2006, I guess, technically. So it's a losing organization. And that right there, that introductory press conference is the definition of a loser organization and franchise.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, give yourself a ding, Brandon, please. Okay.
Sandy, you weren't expecting that, were you?
No, we did get a text on the Siding Unlimited WTMJ talking text line 855-616-1620 and 414 texted in. He should worry about getting the Bears to 500.
Yes. Worry about yourself. Why are you worried about the Packers?
They're so obsessed with us. That's all right. That's okay. Not everybody can be green and gold. All right. Thanks so much, Brandon. Thanks, everybody. Time for News About Your Money, the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow is up 1% on the day, 408 points. S&P 500 up 32, NASDAQ up 44. Annex Wealth Management, know the difference. Go Packers.
John Mercure here for the Froedtert and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network. An estimated 1 million Americans live with Parkinson's disease. With 90,000 new cases each year, Parkinson's is a progressive brain disease that affects movement and can also impact mood, memory, and sleep. Dr. Ryan Brennan, a neurologist with the Froedtert and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network, shares how their team provides personalized care. Hear it along with all of our past everyday health discussions by clicking the drop-down menu at WTMJ.com.
We're on the air in 3, 2...
Hey, it's Vince Vitrano.
John Mercure here.
Wait, does that car say Pella on the side? What's Gina Della doing here?
Sorry, I'm late. We're on the air in 3, 2...
Recognize my voice? Get used to it.
Talk all things Windows, business, and being a boss in more ways than one with Gina Della for Pella's very own show right here on WTMJ. Starting February 1st, tune into What's the Difference every Saturday morning at 6:30 or stream anytime on WTMJ.com.
What a tease.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Chief Market Watcher Brian Wickert. Well, a lot of folks have buying a home on their New Year's resolution list, and while national news headlines talk about the inventory of homes for sale being a lot higher this year, I'm afraid that's just not the case in most of Wisconsin. So how do you make your offer stand out from the others so that someone else doesn't end up sleeping in your dream home? Well, it takes a team of a good real estate agent and a mortgage lender who has all the tools and techniques to help make your offer as attractive as possible in the eyes of that seller. Sure, you can go with a flimsy, unimaginative bank pre-approval, or you can present your offer with an AccuNet, rock-solid, fully verified, and guaranteed pre-approval that might also come with the phrase that really makes sellers happy: no appraisal required. We'll also help you understand exactly what it means in dollars and cents if you do decide to offer over asking or give that seller some appraisal wiggle room. All you have to do to get started with your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval is click on the blue button at AccuNet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
Between all the holiday parties,
weekend tailgates,
and family get-togethers,
we've been overindulging a little more than usual over the holidays. But now, we are starting the new year off on a healthier note by taking Active Liver supplements from New Nordic every day.
Active Liver contains a powerful blend of turmeric, milk thistle, and globe artichoke extract, all natural ingredients that help protect the liver so that it can protect you from toxins. It's like giving my body a daily detox. I've never felt better, and my energy is through the roof.
And my doctor is already impressed with how much better my numbers are looking. So if better health, more energy, and detoxing your body are some of your priorities this year, get Active Liver today and start the year off knowing you're giving your liver some well-deserved relief.
Active Liver is available in both tablets and as a delicious gummy. You can find Active Liver in stores at your local CVS or online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here, asking you to join me in October as my wife and I explore the magical kingdoms of Southeast Asia, from the villages of Vietnam and the temples of Cambodia to the friendly locals of Laos and the beachside resort in stunning, lively Thailand. I hope you'll join us for this unforgettable journey. Ancient and mysterious worlds of rural landscapes, bustling cities, and fascinating history in Vietnam. Explore the Chu Chi tunnels used by the Viet Cong. Experience a street food adventure through Hanoi and cherish the serenity of Hai Long Bay on a beautiful boat ride. Bangkok in Thailand, the beaches in Thailand, history, tradition, food. If you'd like more information on this great trip, send me an email. john.mercure@WTMJ.com. john.mercure@WTMJ.com. It's Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos. I'm super jazzed about this trip. Send me an email. I send you the info. john.mercure, MERCURE, @WTMJ.com.
Experience, knowledge, and results. That's what really matters when you need help after a serious truck accident. You'll need a lawyer experienced in fighting and winning for people just like you. Gruber Law Offices has the resources, strong track record of success, and a team of experienced lawyers to take care of your needs. We've successfully helped people injured in big truck accidents for more than 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Time's ticking on Heiser's Drive Into 2025 sales event. The clock is literally running out on remaining 2024 models. We're making room for new rides, which means huge savings just for you. Shop online or race in today and get a new vehicle for way less than expected. With low payments, special financing, and immediate delivery, you'll start 2025 in style without breaking the bank. But hurry, because once they're gone, they're gone. Visit Heiser.com now for all of the details and get ready to roll into the new year with a celebratory deal.
See dealer for complete details.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It is 4:30. I'm Julia Fellow. Your top story this half hour: your Milwaukee Bucks are late to their own game tonight.
I'm Sandy Max, in for John Mercure. More executive orders signed by President Trump.
I'm Debbie Loziga. The ride's still looking okay coming up from the airport, so they've got a clear ride if they have to come into the downtown area. That being said, though, we do have delays out there. Southbound on 43, slowing from before Capitol Drive, pretty much solid all the way down through the Marquette and over the high-rise. Westbound 94 is backing up out of the Marquette all the way to about Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound is going to be heavy from 84th Street to 35th. and then southbound on 894. Backups from the Zoo interchange down to National. Back on the brakes from about Beloit Road down past an accident scene in the Hale interchange. I'm Debbie Loziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Cold tonight, the low will be 4 degrees. Wind chill will make it feel like it's 5 below zero. A slight chance of snow tomorrow night. The high will be 20 degrees. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, President Donald Trump has signed an executive order just this afternoon aiming to declassify remaining federal workers' records related to the assassination of President John F. Kennedy, Senator Robert F. Kennedy, and Martin Luther King Jr. He told reporters,
"A lot of people are waiting for this for years, for decades, and everything will be revealed."
After he signed the executive order, he told his staff to give the pen that he signed that executive order over to Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
Police officers back into Milwaukee public schools. It could happen by February 17th. In a ruling today, a judge denied Milwaukee Public Schools' motion to dismiss the lawsuit filed by an MPS parent and the Wisconsin Institute for Law and Liberty over school safety. MPS is now ordered to comply with Act 12 and provide the legally required 25 school resource officers in all public schools during normal school hours, no later than February 17th. If they fail to comply, the district will be required to appear in court. MPS has been out of compliance since January 1st, 2024.
Back to national news, some pushback from Republican Pete Hegseth's defense secretary nomination. President Donald Trump has not backed away from backing his pick, even suggesting using another tactic to get Hegseth and other choices in.
I'd be willing to use recess appointments. It's up to John. We'll see. John Thune's a great guy, great senator, knows his stuff inside out and backwards, but I would use recess appointments if he wants to do that.
2 Republican senators voted against Hegseth, but he did have 51 votes to clear the final confirmation vote expected to come tomorrow.
President Trump today signed another executive order, this time establishing a working group on digital asset markets. It's made up of senior government leaders who will make recommendations for a new regulatory framework governing crypto.
We're going to make a lot of money for the country, and so is David.
On the campaign trail, Trump promised his administration would be staffed with crypto supporters who would take a light touch in regulating digital currencies.
The president is pardoning anti-abortion activists who were convicted in the October 2020 invasion and blockade of a Washington clinic. Lauren Handy was sentenced to nearly 5 years in prison for leading the blockade by directing activists to link their hands together and also have locks and chains to block the clinic's doors. Trump pardoned Handy and her 9 co-defendants. The news of the pardons come ahead of tomorrow's annual anti-abortion protest March for Life in Washington, D.C.
The Wisconsin Department of Health Services is working on a release plan for the final attacker in the Slender Man stabbing case. Morgan Geyser spent about a third of her life at the Winnebago Mental Health Institute in Oshkosh.
Slender Man attacker Morgan Geyser was committed to the Winnebago Mental Health Institute after being found not guilty by reason of mental disease. She's currently one of about 170 patients. Director Jesse Andrews.
We serve all individuals across the lifespan, primarily serving those who are in need of inpatient psychiatric treatment.
Geyser committed the crime when she was just 12. She's now 22. Andrews explains how her team prepares patients like Geyser to re-enter society.
Providing them with individual and group therapy opportunities to help them stabilize their psychiatric needs, also help them kind of navigate what is happening with them so that they understand their symptoms.
Jessica Ty, WTMJ News.
Buc-ee's could be coming soon to southeast Wisconsin. Oak Creek will be discussing the possibility of opening a Buc-ee's travel center at their January 28th Plan Commission meeting. The proposed site would be located at the southwest corner of 94 and Elm Road and would feature more than 73,000 square foot store, 120 gas pumps, and EV charging. The store's anticipated opening would be in 2 years from now. Public hearings on the plan will start next month.
Milwaukee Area Technical College enters an agreement with the Bucks to share an athletic training facility in the Deer District Wednesday. It will be built across from Fiserv Forum, just blocks from MATC's downtown campus. The proposed 7-story building would house a 28,000 square foot double gymnasium, fitness center, and meeting rooms on the ground floor, plus apartments and over 275 parking spaces. The project will break ground this summer, with the first games coming in the fall of 2026.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Your Milwaukee Bucks in the air right now. Your team getting back in time for their game tonight against the Heat at home. The team was stuck in New Orleans, where last night's game against the Pelicans was delayed and then postponed because of snowy weather there. Tip-off for the Bucks versus the Heat is now set for 7:30 tonight. Our coverage begins at 7 p.m. right after What's on Tap with Sandy Max. Meanwhile, UWM beat the Wright State at 95-79 in the Horizon League play last night, and the Panthers will take on Northern Kentucky tomorrow night.
Outdoor living unlimited. WTMJ News Time 436.
Stop in and load up on great everyday essentials at Fleet Farm Stock-Up Sale. January 16th through the 29th. 40-pound bags of Morton Water Softener Salt are just $5.99. Superior Hardwood Fuel Pellets are on sale for $5.49 a bag. And don't forget your backyard friends. 40-pound bags of Black Oil Sunflower Seed are just $14.99. Be sure to stock up on all your everyday favorites, all at the best prices, guaranteed, at Fleet Farm Stock-Up Sale.
From the biggest plays on the court to the comments made in the locker room after, an in-depth recap of every Bucks game in 6 minutes. No more, no less. Bucks in 6 provides game recaps for every game. Hear the high-flying dunks from Giannis.
Puts it on the floor, spins down the lane, and plunges it through.
Or the deep threes from Dame.
Dame time has arrived with 107.
Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus audio network. Find it now on bucks.com/plus or on Spotify, Apple, and wherever you get your podcasts. Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
437 on WTMJ. I hope that you are having a great day. Not a great day for the police chief of the town of Geneva. He called this next story you're about to hear the hardest call his officers have ever had to respond to. Chief Anthony Michelli was interviewed on nearly every news channel yesterday. His voice was cracking as he laid out what investigators showed up to. At about 2:30 in the morning Monday, a little boy, an 8-year-old, was shot and killed by his stepfather. The details are just awful. It happened near Cale and Lincoln Avenue, right inside an ordinary ranch home painted olive green. Officers found a lifeless boy who was shot just under his chin. Very serious. The first officer who got there says the child was still breathing, even though the wound was on the neck area. That officer immediately tried to stop the bleed, performed CPR, rushed him to the hospital. Staff and doctors did all they could, but the little boy, 8-year-old Michael Mager, who was visiting Wisconsin from the Chicago suburbs near Brookfield, died an hour later. The person now charged with reckless murder this afternoon is the child's stepfather, 52-year-old Stephen Merkel. We have a mugshot of the stepfather, and we're about to show it to you. He's now charged with reckless homicide of 8-year-old Michael Mager on our live stream. You can see it in just a few moments if you text it to WATCH to 855-616-1620. WATCH to our Citing Limited Talk and Text line. That's 855-616-1620. He's behind bars tonight in the Walworth County Jail. And I just read through the court records that were emailed to me because police weren't saying what happened. What led up to this? And a reckless homicide charge? I was confused by that because he was listed since Monday in the Walworth County Jail as an arrest for first-degree murder. So, if convicted of a reckless homicide, you can get up to 5 years in prison. First-degree murder for life. Big difference. So, this is what investigators are working on right now. What court records show what this suspect said. They said the child was dropped off at the stepfather's house at 10 o'clock Sunday night. The stepfather, Stephen Merkel, admitted to police he had been drinking, quote, just 2 little drinks of rum and RC. Then said the boy, quote, did something stupid and it wasn't the 8-year-old's fault. Steve Merkel claims he was showing the 8-year-old guns to look cool before the deadly shooting happened. First showing the 8-year-old a stun gun. He told police he pointed it towards the child and pressed the button for it to make a popping noise. He told police the child looked really, really scared. Then he told police, quote, he was trying to look cool and exciting still to his stepson and decided to grab a 9mm handgun to show the 8-year-old. He said he took out the clip and thought because the magazine to the gun was out, the gun was empty because there's no clip in it. He told police he walked back into the room where his stepson was standing, pointed the gun at the boy, and pulled the trigger. He said he expected to hear a click, but instead he heard a big boom. So this stepfather is claiming this was all an accident. He told police he did not think the gun was loaded. When he pointed the 9mm handgun right at the 8-year-old's face and pulled the trigger. Police say the suspect was covered in blood when they got on the scene. And get this. Couldn't believe my eyes when I read this line. Court records show the stepfather, who was admitted to police, according to court records, that he shot the child, first called a family member, told the family member what happened, that he shot the boy bleeding from the head. And then the family member said, hang up, you got to call 911. Then he called 911. Then police arrived. Then the child died an hour later. The school district of the 8-year-old, Michael Meager, by the way, the little boy's beautiful, adorable, smiles and everything. It's just amazing. He loves soccer, according to district officials. Blue eyes, blonde hair, so full of life. They describe him as always happy and made his classmates laugh. Was at Brook Park Elementary.
Oh, he's a second grader living a little boy life.
Yeah. Now it's gone. So I looked at his criminal history, the suspect, his 52-year-old stepfather, and I don't really see much, but in the 1990s, he was charged with disorderly conduct. So I asked the court records to see what that's about. Can I get a copy? I'm still waiting to get that. Computers weren't really great of a thing back in 1996, not like today. So they have to go in the basement and get a copy. So we'll be following this case, and it's a really hard one. It was really difficult. I've read a lot of criminal complaints in my day. This one was just disgusting and very sad.
Heartbreaking for an entire family.
Yes, absolutely. It's 4:43 on WTMJ.
Be our eyes on the road. See something out there that I should know about?
On 894 North, just before the National Avenue exit, the right lane is closed. There's a medical emergency, it looks like.
Call me, Debbie Loziga, on the WTMJ traffic tip line, 414-238-9329.
Hello, Debbie. 41 South, just before Capitol Drive. There are 2 cars involved in an accident.
The drive affects you. Why not be part of it? Give me a call, 414-238-9329.
If you want to add a unique and stunning feature to your home, decorative art glass can be used in a variety of ways to really increase its wow factor. Think of adding a wonderful work of stained glass art to some of your exterior windows, foyer, or front door entry. We can make sure the measurements fit spot on, and you don't even have to replace the glass. You can just add the art glass over the top. It will add some real ambiance that changes as the sun moves throughout the day. And a paint of protection too, which never hurts. Our decorative glass artists are delightful to work with, and they just might give you some ideas that you love, but never even thought of. There's so much of the same out there. Adding a customized work of stained glass art to one or more of your home's windows can really set it apart. This is Stacy Sinks with Les's Glass Service. If it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Les's Glass. Les's Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lesglassservice.com.
Sun, 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 fun, 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 sun, sun, sun.
Boaters, this is your show, the Milwaukee Boat Show at State Fair Park. Over 300 boats, family runabouts, ski and surf boats, luxury pontoons, more Lake Michigan boats than ever. Tierra, Beneteau, Pursuit, Cruisers, Sea Ray, Boston Whaler, and more. Get that boat and get that deal. See Twiggy the water skiing squirrel the second weekend. Check MilwaukeeBoatShow.com, January 17th through 26th, closed Monday and Tuesday.
This is Jeff Johnson.
And I'm Jason Johnson.
And together, we're part of Johnson & Sons Paving.
Get your parking lot ready now for spring and avoid paying for extra repairs later on.
We'll come out to your property and walk it with you.
Potholes, damaged asphalt, damaged concrete, standing water, you name it. We'll talk to you about your options and fix it.
Plan a budget, set up an overall schedule with Johnson & Sons Paving.
It's all about doing it right the first time. Call us today to schedule a walkthrough and free estimate.
JohnsonandSonsPaving.com.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductee, Peter Frampton. Let's Do It Again tour. April 15th, the Riverside Theater. Grammy winner, the one and only Peter Frampton. On sale Friday, January 24th, 10 a.m. at papstheatergroup.com.
Traffic is brought to you by Rejuvenix, your non-surgical joint therapy experts.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenex.com to request your appointment.
Let's go through roads with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic with Debbie Lazaga.
All right. Well, we're still looking okay coming up from the airport, so at least we got that going for us. Right now, though, we do have an accident on 894 southbound heading onto the Rock Freeway from southbound 894, so heads up with that. It's off on the left shoulder. Delay is pretty much coming down from Beloit Road to that point. We also got some backups from the Zoo interchange down to about Lincoln, too, so careful with that. Eastbound 94 out of the Zoo, going to be slowing down all the way through to 35th Street. Westbound slow from 16th to Mitchell Boulevard. Southbound on 43, we've got backups from Keefe all the way down through the Marquette and over the high rise down to the KK River. Northbound's backed up from about Kilbourne all the way up past North Avenue, almost to Center Street. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
It will be cold tonight. Low will be 4 degrees. Wind chill make it feel like it's 5 below zero. Slight chance of snow tomorrow night. The high will be 20 degrees. Saturday, sunny with a high of 34 degrees. Sunny Sunday with a high of 27. Then cloudy Monday with a high of 37 degrees. I love the song.
All the small things.
They played this summer in Milwaukee, and
Yeah,
my
it's a
husband
big deal.
and his friend went. They're good. Blink-182 coming at you. Okay, do you know what RSV is? The virus that a
Yes.
lot of infants get?
Well, and adults get it too.
Very style points. Very good. The older adults, yes, or infants can really get badly sick. So I spoke to a nurse practitioner, and she's with the Nurse Practitioners Association of America about this. What are the signs? How can you tell RSV, which is a respiratory virus, from a cold? Take a listen, a very interesting interview. Do you understand how, from your perspective as a nurse practitioner, how scary it is for parents what the child could get, like pneumonia, COVID, a cold, or something like that, or respiratory illness during this time of year?
Absolutely. There are so many different viruses that are circulating right now. And I too am in the Midwest, and we are in the thick of viral season with respiratory syncytial virus, or RSV, flu, COVID, all of those circulating rapidly right now. And absolutely, you know, these viruses, particularly RSV, is so contagious. It's a really hardy virus, lives on surfaces for hours, highly transmissible from person to person. And absolutely, when our kids get sick, very stressful for parents.
So RSV really affects infants and young children. Can it differ from a cold, the flu, or COVID, so people can, you know, because it's serious. It affects a lot of people, and even healthy children, right?
Yeah, for sure. And there's about 2/3 of infants less than 1 year of age contract RSV in that first year. And we're most worried about them because anatomically everything is smaller. So it's more difficult for them to tolerate this virus in the same way that it would for someone who's older and airways are larger. And so it acts like a cold to start. Typically it might be RSV starts with a sniffle one day. The next day, the nose might start to be runny and then starts to develop a cough. And so it's an infection of the upper respiratory tract infection, our system, which then can travel down into the lungs, cause inflammation, cause wheezing, and a lot of difficulty breathing. And so some of the other circulating viruses can start out in a very similar way. But there's a couple of things that make it stand out from flu and from COVID, but the only way to really tell the difference is to have a test. However, when thinking about RSV, there's lots and lots of secretions associated with RSV. There may or may not be a fever with RSV, which is a little bit different than flu and COVID, which is more tightly associated with the fever as well. And then really that going down into the lower airways, causing that wheezing is in bronchiolitis picture is something that really would point someone in the direction of RSV when trying to think about which virus is this that we're dealing with right now when a child is sick.
Interesting. And you said there is a test for it. Is that something like over the counter, like a COVID test, or would you have to go in the doctor's office?
Oh, yeah, that's a really great question. Yeah, right now it's something that you do have to have a provider order, and it's done in an office setting or in the hospital setting. So something that's not currently available over the counter.
So if it goes untreated and you don't know what you don't know, especially with a new parent and an infant, how far could it go to make a child sick? Like, could they become hospitalized?
So the kids that are at highest risk for being hospitalized are going to be those that are very young. The young infants, the younger children, more advanced age adults as well would be at higher risk. But what can happen is if these kids get sick, gets down into the lower respiratory tract, they start wheezing, they start having difficulty breathing. Parents can see that if under the ribs they start to suck in with every breath, or the nose is flaring in and out each time they take a breath. Those would be some signs that they're really starting to have more difficulty breathing. And if they're not eating and drinking well, sometimes it's really hard with all these secretions that come with RSV to really coordinate drinking and eating at the same time. And so infants can get really dehydrated. And so once medical attention is sought, some of the things that might be done for the child, since there's not a medication, there's not a therapy to treat RSV itself, so we're really just providing what's called supportive care. And so we're treating the symptoms to help them get through the illness. And so typically that would include IV fluids to help with the dehydration, get them rehydrated. Oftentimes it means providing oxygen. Sometimes they need more aggressive support, such as a ventilator or other advanced life support therapies. And so really we're supporting that child through the illness, which is going to run its course. It can last a couple of weeks to really run its course. Even if they're in the hospital, we can see them in the hospital for quite some time if they're very seriously ill with RSV. And then that cough that goes with it can last a few weeks.
Wow. There's some people that say, oh, I don't want to be an over-worried mother or father or parent. But, whenever I see someone sick, my husband or anybody, I said, go to the doctor no matter what. So it's not an overreaction if someone or a parent wants to take their child to the hospital, right, and get them checked at a clinic or their primary care pediatrician.
Absolutely. And I think, too, with the really young ones, infants, the toddlers, they can't really tell you what they're experiencing, too. And so they can't really tell us in words that, I'm having a hard time breathing, really struggling here. And so I definitely would have a really low threshold to bring them in, get them evaluated, and then get some pointers for exactly what to look for over if they don't need to be hospitalized or receive additional therapy at that time. What are some of those things that they can continue to watch for that might indicate that they do need to be seen again?
That's such a good point. My best friend, 54 in WTMJ, the Milwaukee Bucks were supposed to play about 90-ish minutes from now. It's been pushed to 7:30. They just landed in Milwaukee. Yes, I know.
The Eagle has landed.
Oh, man. They've
with
been
Giannis and company.
Going through it. They're on a private charter jet, and they're taxiing. They're about to get off.
They're going to feel unleashed. They've been cooped up in a hotel room in New Orleans for 4 days.
Look,
they've been cooped up in
We're watching TMJ4. You know how you thought that they were going to, go on the
pull up to a jetway. Yeah,
there's a little, there's stairs.
They're going to get out on the tarmac.
Huh.
But I was just going to say, they've been cooped up in a hotel room and then cooped up on a plane. Fresh air is going to feel good, and these men are just going to be running around.
Absolutely.
I think they'll be ready to play on the court.
Hey, Deb, how are the roads if there's a police escort even...
Believe it or not, this is probably the best I've seen of all the roads that would go from the airport to downtown. They could take the Hone Bridge. They could take 4394. Either one is looking pretty good at the moment. So, yeah, they shouldn't have a problem getting in, especially if they have a police escort. So it shouldn't be a problem. By the way, if you are on either one of these, because we're not sure which one they would end up using, if you do see a bunch of police officers, please give them room so that they can get the guys to Fiserv for
Give
them,
them a little
please.
honk. Yeah, and a wave.
Just get out of their way.
Absolutely. All right, Deb, thank you so much. Here's your business headlines.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
A new coffee shop is planned for Milwaukee's Walker's Point neighborhood. Michigan-based Azal Coffee plans to open its first Milwaukee location as part of a national expansion this year. The Middle Eastern coffee shop is planned for South 1st Street. Nearly 300 homes could be coming to Germantown as HomePath Financial plans 283 housing units on 88 acres at the northeast corner of Lannon Road and County Line Road. There will be a mix of single-family homes, townhomes, and ranch-style duplexes. The CEO of Briggs & Stratton said the company is committed to remaining in Metro Milwaukee, and its private equity owner has no immediate plans to sell the business. The Wauwatosa-based company was sold out of bankruptcy in 2020, and the company struggled financially through 2023. I'm Teddy Nykel for MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on 620 WTMJ.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
This report is sponsored by the beautiful Pfister Hotel. Make your reservations right now and relax. Visit thepfisterhotel.com.
For over 130 years, the Pfister Hotel in downtown Milwaukee has been delighting guests with impeccable service and luxurious accommodations. Celebrate your next special occasion with a stay at this newly renovated Milwaukee icon. Enjoy fine dining at acclaimed restaurants and pamper yourself with a service from the Wells Spa and Salon. Experience the hotel's afternoon tea program or take in live music with the best views of the city from Blue, the 23rd floor cocktail lounge. There's always a reason to celebrate with the Pfister Hotel. Make your reservations today at thepfisterhotel.com.
WTMJ's John Mercure here. I love my dogs, Bella and Baxter, an important part of our family. They're kind of like kids sometimes, and like kids, they weren't always listening, but I've got it figured out now. Thanks to Matt and his teams at Sit Means Sit Dog Training, our dogs are better behaved. They don't bark as much. They just listen better. They're happy, confident, obedient. Our house is a better house. Sit Means Sit Dog Training turned it around for us. Let them do the same for you. You can start with a free consultation. The website is sitmeanssitwaukesha.com. Sitmeanssitwaukesha.com.
Let's take your inside living outside. Outdoor Living Unlimited puts cool stuff in your yard. Patios, decks, pergolas, outdoor kitchens, screen rooms, even in-ground pools. You dream it, we design it together, then Outdoor Living Unlimited installs it for you. OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
Get your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval to buy at ACCUNET.com.
Staying active, essential for overall health. Proper medical support, essential for staying active. WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Whether it's keeping a weekend warrior like me on the tennis court or keeping young athletes in the game, you want the best in sports medicine, that's OAW. Surgeons, nurses, and physical therapists help you recover from injury, avoid injury in the future, and enhance performance. Get care 7 days a week. Walk right in at an Ortho ASAP clinic or book an appointment online at orthowisconsin.com.
Hi folks, this is Hank Albert, owner of BBC Lighting. At BBC, we sell all the top brands of lights and ceiling fans, such as Visual Comfort, Tech, Schoenbeck Crystal, and hundreds more. We get every brand, and our prices are the lowest. I guarantee it. In our award-winning showroom, you'll also find factory closeouts with lights and fans priced well below their original cost. If it's lampshades or repairs you need, we do all that too. There's something for everyone at BBC, including fun for the kids and our famous free popcorn. We're open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, Saturday, 10 to 4, and located at 20th and St. Paul Avenue, across from Sobelman's, near the Potawatomi Casino. Stay safe and healthy, my friends.
All you have is one chance after an accident, one decision on who to call, one shot to get the help you need. Don't waste it on the one offer you get from your insurance company. Make the one call to Gruber Law Offices. It's the only one you'll need to make. Call us today. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
$1 for just $1 over cost. You can buy brand new tires from us. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand, just $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. Available at all 5 Griffin stores. Just $1 over cost. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers.
Hair Volume is the best-selling hair tablet in the world and one of many award-winning natural hair products from New Nordic. Purchase at newnordicusa.com or CVS.
Traffic is sponsored by the famous Fox and Hounds restaurant near Holy Hill.
Buy one dinner, get one free tonight at the historic Fox and Hounds Supper Club, including steak and lobster. And desserts are buy one, get one free. Tables are open, foxandhoundsrestaurant.com.
Tonight, the Bucks burn out the Miami Heat at Fiserv Forum.
Damian Lillard can't hit the three, but there is Giannis to slam it right back up and in.
With coverage starting tonight at 7, we are your home for the Milwaukee Bucks. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It is 5:01. I'm Julia Fellow. This is Wisconsin's Afternoon News. Your top story for Thursday, January 23rd, a lawsuit over school safety in Milwaukee Public Schools.
I'm Sandy Max, in for John Mercure, and your Milwaukee Bucks have landed in the city. Tonight's game time has changed, 7:30 start. Coverage will start here at 7 o'clock, and doors will open to ticketed fans at Fiserv Forum at 6 o'clock.
I'm Debbie Lazago. We've got southbound 43 backing up from just south of Keefe all the way down through the Marquette and over the high-rise bridge down to the KK River. Northbound is clear. We got a good ride all the way into downtown there and also 794. So if you're wondering if that's how they're going to get there, I'm not sure, but there it is. It's going to be okay. We got northbound 43, though, slowing down from just past Kilbourne all the way up towards Keefe. Westbound 94, heavy from 25th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound, we got a couple of pockets of heavy traffic near Barker Road all the way to Calhoun, and then back on the brakes from just before 84th Street to 35th. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Cold tonight, the low will be 4 degrees. Wind chill will make it feel like it's 5 degrees below zero. A slight chance of snow tomorrow night. The high will be 20 degrees tomorrow. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, a judge just ordered police officers to be back in Milwaukee Public Schools. The deadline, February 17th. In the ruling today, the judge denied Milwaukee Public Schools' motion to dismiss the lawsuit. It was filed by a parent of Milwaukee Public Schools and the Wisconsin Institute for Law and Liberty, or WILL, over school safety. MPS is now ordered to comply with the law and provide that the legally required 25 school resource officers in all public schools during normal school hours happen no later than February 17th. If they fail to comply, district leaders will be required to appear in court and explain why it hasn't happened before a judge. MPS has been out of compliance since January of last year.
President Trump has signed an executive order this afternoon aiming to declassify remaining federal records relating to the assassinations of President John F. Kennedy, Senator Robert F. Kennedy, and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. He told reporters today,
"A lot of people are waiting for this for years, for decades. And everything will be revealed."
According to whitehouse.gov, the goal of this order is to, quote, provide Americans the truth after 6 decades of secrecy, end quote.
A federal judge in Seattle has signed a temporary restraining order blocking President Donald Trump's executive order on birthright citizenship, saying it appears to violate the 14th Amendment, which says that someone born in the U.S. is a U.S. citizen. ABC News White House correspondent Karen Travers has reaction from the president.
President Trump said this isn't over with this temporary restraining order.
No, obviously we'll appeal it. They put it before a certain judge in Seattle, I guess, right? And there's no surprises with that judge.
That federal judge was appointed by President Ronald Reagan. This ruling was the first legal test of President Trump's executive order reinterpreting the 14th Amendment's guarantee of birthright citizenship. The president faces at least 5 separate lawsuits over the policy. Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
Despite losing the support of 2 Republicans, President Trump's pick to lead the Pentagon is close to being confirmed. ABC News national correspondent Stephen Portnoy has the latest.
The former Fox News host cleared the procedural hurdle with 51 votes in favor and 49 against. 2 Republicans, Lisa Murkowski of Alaska and Susan Collins of Maine, joined Senate Democrats in voting no on Pete Hegseth's nomination. A final vote is still in store, but it appears Hegseth will have enough support to be narrowly confirmed.
A final vote confirmation is expected Friday.
Federal immigration agents conducted the first large-scale arrest operation this week under the Trump administration, resulting in about 500 arrests. According to U.S. Customs and Immigration Enforcement, or ICE, it was a nationwide effort that includes arrests in Illinois, Utah, California, Minnesota, New York, Florida, and Maryland. Victor Avila, a former special agent with Homeland Security Investigations, tells News Nation.
There's not going to be ICE officers running down the streets, pointing at people, trying to see like, hey, you look Hispanic, we're going to pick you up. That's not going to happen here. It is going to be methodical. It's targeted. These individuals know who they are, that are wanted, that they're here illegally.
ICE says those arrests have criminal histories, including sexual assault, robbery, and drug and weapons charges.
Master Lock's parent company will close its office in Oak Creek. Fortune Brands Innovations is consolidating operations to its Deerfield, Illinois location. The news comes about 10 months after Master Lock closed its historic plant on Milwaukee's north side. The Milwaukee Business Journal reports the move will affect about 120 employees in Oak Creek. The relocations are expected to be complete by September.
Coming up, an award for driver's licenses. Outdoor Living Unlimited News Time, 5:06.
Our favorite reason to choose Diamonds Direct over any other jeweler? Free service for life with no fine print. That's right. When you buy your engagement ring or any piece of jewelry at Diamonds Direct, you will never have to pay a dime in the future for sizing, cleaning, or routine maintenance. At Diamonds Direct, there's no gotcha clause, no fine print, no looking for ways to void the warranty. Diamonds Direct, the jeweler you can trust with a no questions asked 100% free lifetime warranty with no strings attached. Come see us to learn more.
Reason number 52 to choose Diamonds Direct over any other jeweler. Only Diamonds Direct gives you a 110% diamond upgrade guarantee. Diamonds Direct will give you 110% of your original purchase price toward the new stone. That's 10% more than you paid the first time. Guaranteed appreciation. Who else does this? There's no fine print and no minimum purchase requirement. It's 10% more, period. Buy with confidence. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
Winning in the NFL comes down to the basics, blocking and tackling. In retirement, protection and income are the keys to success. Simply put, if you're nearing or in retirement, you can't afford a stock market crash. Hi, I'm Mitch Lyons. Having played on winning teams with the Steelers and Falcons, studying game film was a key to success. Now I'm a best-selling author and star in a new groundbreaking documentary film called The Retirement Deception. It unveils how the Wall Street machine has been deceiving us for decades and proves you don't need to risk your nest egg in the market to have the retirement you deserve. This film shows you exactly how to protect your retirement from stock market drops and produce more income than you thought possible. I want you to watch this film for free. Call today for your free copy of The Retirement Deception. I think you would agree 30 to 40 years of saving for retirement is at least worth a phone call to watch this film and see how you can improve your retirement. Call today to speak with an all-pro retirement specialist to get your free copy of The Retirement Deception. Call 844-763-2837. That's 844-763-2837. MitchLyonsWealth.com. Your best game plan to protect, grow, and win retirement.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 5:08.
Accolades, even for the DMV.
And from the Hey, I didn't know there was an award for that category.
The Elan Award of Excellence from the International Card Manufacturers Association.
That's right. The DOT's Director of Bureau Services, Corey Kleist, explains Wisconsin won this award.
Every state, every country produces driver licenses, ID cards, passport cards, and other things. And Wisconsin's card, our newest card design, was selected as the overall winner for card excellence.
Another feather in our cap. Debbie Loziga, WTMJ News.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all sports desk. The Bucks have arrived. They are here in time for their game tonight against the Miami Heat at Fiserv Forum after last night's Pelicans game getting postponed because they were stuck in New Orleans with the snow. The tip-off has changed tonight. Bucks versus Heat, now 7:30. Our coverage will begin here at 7 p.m. right after What's on Tap, tribute to Bob Uecker. So stay with us here for a fine evening of entertainment. And meanwhile, UWM beat Wright State 95-79 in Horizon League play last night. And the Panthers take on Northern Kentucky tomorrow night.
And we see the Bucks are traveling on 794 right now. They are going to be making that tip-off at 7:30, right?
Yes.
All right. Outdoor Living Unlimited News Time, 5:10.
It's here on consignment from over 10,000 nationwide partners. From very high-end, distinctive furniture, unique antiques and original art, to tasteful home decor that can fit almost any budget. Premium home decor priced right. at 25 to 40% off retail prices. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Smart interior designers know that what they'll see here is going to be almost impossible to find anywhere else, especially at our consignment prices. Premium home decor that's gently loved and close to new. And what we carry can raise the wow factor of anyone's home decor. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is on the air. Broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here are your hosts, Julia Fellow and Sandy Max.
John is on vacation. He'll be back on Monday. Sandy, it's so great that you're with me.
Thank you.
Do you want to hear a wild story out of Dodgeville that involves a blowtorch?
Does anyone get injured?
No.
Oh, there we go. Okay, then I'm game.
Okay. That's a good question. These people were working at Subway, and it was on, let me just make sure I get the right road. State Highway 23.
I get my bread toasted when I get my sub.
I've been to
This
every
isn't what they're
Subway
doing,
in
are they?
Wisconsin. Oh, yeah, right?
They're not toasting the subs with a blowtorch, are they?
That's a good one. So it happened this week, just in the afternoon at about 4 p.m. This guy walked in, and he had a hat and a mask on. He entered the Subway. He asked for a manager, and then he locked the building's door, according to police, took off a blowtorch from his coat that was attached to his coat, and then he supposedly approached an employee and said he was kidding around when they looked extremely scared.
That would be terrifying. Imagine being the sandwich technician
You lock the door,
behind there. The door lock alone would be, my spidey senses would tingle and go, this is not good.
So the suspect removed his mask afterwards and tried to calm them all down, and then took off. And a police officer recognized the suspect because it was on surveillance video based on a recent traffic stop. So they had his driver's license that in the system. So they went to his house, and he was taken into custody 45 minutes later on charges of attempted armed robbery, false imprisonment, and he was also wanted for bail jumping. So we cannot release his name yet because he hasn't been officially charged. But I thought that was a wild story. What?
It is truly terrifying. If you were in there, like you just said, just that simple lock of the door and you don't know what's going on, and he's got this blowtorch. And we were just talking yesterday, Julia, about the wildfires. Now there are new wildfires north of Los Angeles, and about the rash of arsonists. And that the arsonists who have been arrested, 2 of them had just the most idiotic quotes of, I just like to watch things burn.
Right.
I like to create chaos and destruction.
I like the smell of leaves burning.
So, I'm taking fire very seriously these days. So you show up with a blowtorch, and we've seen half of this state on fire. So that's very, very scary. I do know one person during a heat advisory a few years ago here in Wisconsin decided to get rid of the weeds in a field next to his office building.
Oh, no.
Yeah, used a mini blowtorch because he thinks that's the best way to get rid of those weeds. And a shed caught on fire.
Oh.
The fire department came out, and that shed had a bunch of old paperwork in it. So he truly had the wind shifted. But this is how, it's kind of funny because no one got hurt. But had that wind shifted because of a dumb decision, because you wanted to get rid of weeds with the blowtorch. So be safe.
Unbelievable.
Be safe. If you have a blowtorch, just use it to make the creme brulee at home or to weld and do whatever work you really need a blowtorch for.
Yes. Wow. 5:14 on WTMJ. Coming up next, we get a check of your traffic, weather, and TMJ4's chief political reporter Charles Benson is still in Washington, D.C. He spoke to Congressman Brian Stile. He was there for the inauguration. There's a lot of new developments in Washington, D.C. He joins us next.
If Miami is really that beautiful,
coming at you from beautiful downtown Miami Beach.
How come your best player doesn't even want to play there?
Jimmy Butler, he has wanted a trade out of Miami.
The Heat head up north to take on the Bucks.
Here's Damian Lillard. Can't hit the three, but there is Giannis to slam it right back up and in.
Our Bucks radio game day coverage starts tonight at 6. We are the home of the Bucks. WTMJ.
Hey, this is Steve Scafidi for Advent. I had some snoring issues that kept my wife up at night. That led to poor sleep and a lot of tired mornings on the radio, and nobody wants that, trust me. Put it simply, my nose wasn't working the way it should. I decided to go to Advent for a quick 30-minute visit, one of their great facilities, talk to a bunch of their doctors. They really put me at ease. After a really simple sleep study at home, in my own bed, they determined the root cause of my problem had to do with my sinuses and nasal passages in my breathing triangle. I didn't even know I had a breathing triangle, so I went to see Advent. After a short procedure done in office, I'm back to breathing well, and my wife and I are both back to sleeping through the whole night. The best sleep we've ever had, that could be you. If you struggle with restless nights like I did, take the time to see how Advent can help. To find out how breathing well and sleeping well can make your life and your nights a whole lot better, go to AdventKnows.com, schedule an appointment today. Because Advent knows, when you breathe well, you live better.
Team up with the Brewers for an epic company event this season. Gather your crew of just 15 or more for a Brewers group outing and trade weekday meetings for a fun-filled day at American Family Field. Featuring options like tailgate spaces, all-inclusive areas, seating blocks, and more. Plus, Brewers ticket representatives will make planning your event easy, as they'll be your concierge while you book your event. Start planning your company outing today at brewers.com/groups.
This report is sponsored by the Milwaukee Boat Show at State Fair Park.
Don't miss the Milwaukee Boat Show, January 17 through 26, State Fair Park. See over 300 boats from more than 80 manufacturers. Get that boat and get that deal.
Traffic and then weather. Debbie Lazaga, how are the roads looking for the Bucks to get to the game that's been moved to 7:30?
Should not be a problem at the moment. Everything is looking pretty good right now on the northbound side of either 794 or 4394. Aces. Where we are seeing delays are the pretty much usual spots. Southbound on 43 coming in from about Center Street all the way down past the Marquette and over the high-rise bridge. Westbound 94 is backing up from 16th Street all the way to Mitchell, actually all the way to Hawley Road. Eastbound is backing up a bit just east of 92nd Street all the way through to 35th. We are still seeing some delays on 894 southbound from National Avenue all the way down through the Hale interchange and onto 894 eastbound past Forest Home. We did have an accident on the ramp to get onto the Rock Freeway heading southbound, so that's something to keep in mind as well, that they're still working on that. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Cold tonight, the low be 4 degrees. Wind chill could make it feel like it's 5 degrees below zero. A slight chance of snow tomorrow night. The high will be 20 degrees. Saturday, sunny with a high of 34. Sunny Sunday with a high of 27 degrees. Then cloudy Monday with a high of 37 degrees. Right now, it's clear and 13 degrees in Milwaukee. He is TMJ4 News chief political reporter, and he's also a national correspondent for Scripps News. Charles Benson is in Washington, D.C. He's been there all week for the inauguration. Charles, I was just looking at what just happened in the Oval Office. The president signing executive orders. One of them will release the records relating to the assassination of President Kennedy, Senator Robert F. Kennedy, Martin Luther King Jr. And what was really interesting was at the end, he said all will be revealed, and then he handed the pen that he signed that executive order with to one of his aides and said, please give that to Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
Yeah, this was one of those remarkable moments. He added another 6 executive orders to the stack of executive orders he's already signed, and I was watching as that was playing out in real time. And yeah, he really called this a big one. He said, hey, you know, he knew this would sort of get a lot of attention. It's also ironic. I saw Robert F. Kennedy Jr. today as he was making his way through the Senate halls, talking with senators. He still faces a challenging and difficult confirmation. But yes, this is some of the things that the president is doing in his first week. On the list of other executive orders that he was signing at that particular time, he also pardoned more people. These were folks who were convicted. He called them peaceful protesters, pro-life protesters. And so this is just some of the activities, some of the work that is going on here in this first week.
So when do you think we could get those records? Would it be released on like the CIA website, the FBI website, WhiteHouse.gov?
That would be interesting. Right. Where will one be able to go, and how many documents are there? What are the, just how quickly? These are, fairly old documents. So are they even available to put them on the internet as quickly? And as you know, they've got a lot of big buildings around here in D.C. where things can be stored and stacked. So I do not have an indication of the timeline.
Charles, I feel like you are just completely in your element with your level of expertise and knowledge in politics locally and nationally. So I'm very happy that you have gotten to spend this inaugural week in Washington, D.C. Who else have you seen in your circulations?
So the last couple of days, I really wanted to talk to some of our lawmakers. So I had a chance to talk to Brian Stile. He's a Republican from the Janesville area, serving in the 1st District there, and, talked about, he sees this as an opportunity. Look, the Republicans have the House, they have the Senate, and now they have President Trump in the White House. So they're going to move fast. They see opportunities here on issues like border security, issues around the economy, issues around inflation. And they're going to try to push a number of bills to address those issues. For the first week, we basically have been seeing, around the executive orders. But they're going to be looking long-term here on what will happen with the economy around inflation and tax cuts and what other policies can take place. I also then had a chance today to stop by Senator Tammy Baldwin's office. And it's not lost on her that, on the same day, on the same ballot, Wisconsin voters sent her and Donald Trump to Washington to work on the problems. And so it's interesting to me to see how they'll have different approaches to that. But Senator Baldwin is, she's a big buy America first, hire America first. So with Donald Trump, she's on the same page. She's not on the same page when she sees some of the things around RFK Jr. Potentially heading up, being nominated to head up Health and Human Services. But she likes Sean Duffy. Sean Duffy is a former Wisconsin congressman, Republican, and she introduced him. So there's going to be bipartisan efforts and other partisan efforts. That's the way it goes here, not only under Donald Trump, but also what we saw under Joe Biden.
Yeah. And Charles, did either Stile or Baldwin talk about the ICE enforcement? Because I just talked to a Marquette Law School professor yesterday. He was talking about how you can really get the temperature by looking just south to us in Chicago and what's going to happen. And there were some arrests in Illinois. There was about 500 arrests across our country, arresting undocumented immigrants that have criminal histories, including sexual assault, robbery, drug and weapons charges. Did they talk about the immigration issue at all with you?
So it was more specific around what got the biggest pushback on one of the executive orders, and that was the restrictions that Trump wanted to put in on birthright citizenship. And so today there was some movement on that with a federal judge out on the West Coast putting a stop to that, a temporary stop to all of that, because as we have seen in Wisconsin and we've seen in other states, they're really questioning whether something they think is already in the Constitution that protects people who are born here, at their birthright citizenship, even though their parents were not citizens. And so this has been an ongoing concern among Democrats largely, and hearing as well from some Republicans. But on the issue of border and border security, it's also ranging around what does the U.S. military do? What is the language? What will be the mission specifically? And how will he be able to go about addressing those issues at the border? So it's really, it's almost you focus for a few minutes on this topic and then you quickly move on to the next topic. And, my sense is in working through these with either new administrations in Madison or in Washington, D.C., things move rather quickly in the first week.
He is your chief political reporter for TMJ4 News and national political correspondent for Scripps News, Charles Benson. Thank you so much. Be safe getting back home.
All right, thanks.
524 on WTMJ. Time for a look at your Annex Wealth Management market update. The Dow is up about 1% on the day, up 408. S&P 500 up 32. NASDAQ up 44. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference.
You love her twice as much today as the day you married her, right?
Welcome to Kessler's.
It started with a prediction.
Go out there and play basketball and win.
And how many games?
6.
It became the culture.
Chance of Bucks in 6.
Being a Bucks fan means you live and breathe Bucks in 6. Brandon Jennings created the prophecy. Tune into Behind the Bucks, the story of Brandon Jennings on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
That's for the culture.
When you work at St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores, you'll be helping us help others. There are many that need our help, and we need your help to carry out our mission. St. Vincent de Paul is always looking for part-time team members. You'll get competitive pay, benefits, and flexibility in scheduling. So apply online at svdpmilw.org or stop by Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, or 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for Tri-County Contracting. You want to know the price of a new roof on your home today? Well, it's easy. Just go to TriCountyContracting.wi.com, click on the Instant Roof Quote button, put in your address and email, click the Show My Roof Price, and there you go. Zero wait time. There's your quote. You shop online for everything else. Who says you can't shop online for a new roof? Tri-County Contracting at WI.com. It's worry-free roofing, siding, and windows. Tri-County Contracting, WI.com.
Hi, this is Julie Coombs and Cindy Storm Fisher with Storm Fisher Investment Group. Are you a retiring professional worried about the direction of our economy, about making your money last? Come see what we can do for you. Let us show you how we take care of you to help you have a great retirement. We are at 262-796-8400 or stormfisher.com. See you soon.
Securities offered through Osaic Wealth Inc. Member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered through Osaic Advisory Services LLC. Osaic Advisory. Osaic Wealth and Osaic Advisory are separately owned, and other entities and/or marketing names, products, and services referenced here are independent of Osaic Wealth and Osaic Advisory.
Ready to tackle your home improvement project this winter? Exterior Pros and Baths is here to help you score big with quality home exterior and shower upgrades. As a 5-time President's Club Award winner, Exterior Pros is not playing around. With flexible financing, it's never been easier to invest in your home without breaking the bank. Get started today and save $2,000. Visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274. That's 262-800-4274. Trust the pros and kick off your home transformation today.
Hair Volume is the best-selling hair tablet in the world and one of many award-winning natural hair products from New Nordic. Purchase at newnordicusa.com or CVS.
Traffic is brought to you by Rejuvenix, your non-surgical joint therapy experts.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 5:30. I'm Julia Fellow. Your top story this upcoming half hour. Your Milwaukee Bucks are in the building.
I'm Sandy Max in for John Mercure, one of the Slenderman attackers, soon to be released.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. In eastbound 94, we got a new accident. This is at the ramp from 35th Street. It's off on the right shoulder, so something to keep in mind. It's already causing some big delays all the way back past 84th Street. We've also got westbound 94 slowing out of the Marquette all the way to Hawley Road. Southbound 41 backups from just south of Appleton Avenue all the way down past Capitol Drive. Northbound on and off the brakes from just before Mayfair Road, pretty much all the way up to Burleigh. And then we've got southbound 43 also slowing down from about Center Street all the way down through the Marquette, over the high-rise bridge down towards the KK River. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Cold tonight, the low will be 4 degrees. Wind chill will make it feel like it's 5 below zero. A slight chance of snow tomorrow night. The high will be 20 degrees. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, President Donald Trump has signed an executive order aiming to declassify remaining federal records relating to the assassinations of President John F. Kennedy, Senator Robert F. Kennedy, and Martin Luther King Jr. He told reporters today.
A lot of people are waiting for this for years, for decades. And everything will be revealed.
According to the WhiteHouse.gov, the goal of this order is to provide Americans the truth after 6 decades of secrecy.
Fears of Trump deportations are being inflamed by threatening letters sent to farm worker groups in California. KCBS reporter Matt Bigler.
The postcard stamped with the ICE website arrived at United Farm Workers offices across the states with the message,
Trump is here, pack your bags.
which is just unbelievable.
Sandra Cincion is with ALAS, a farm worker support group. In response, she says they're holding Know Your Rights workshops for farm laborers, whom she says are the backbone of the state's multi-billion-dollar ag industry.
You know, without them, the prices of groceries are going to go up. Who's going to work the fields?
The postcards are not from ICE, although the true origin is unknown. Matt Bigler for CBS News, San Francisco.
Meanwhile, a federal judge is temporarily blocking President Trump's executive order seeking to end birthright citizenship for undocumented migrants.
Some pushback from a Republican on Pete Hegseth's defense secretary nomination. President Trump has not backed away from backing his pick, even suggesting using another tactic to get Hegseth and other choices in.
I'd be willing to use recess appointments. It's up to John, and we'll see. John Thune's a great guy, great senator, knows his stuff inside out and backwards, but I would use recess appointments if he wants to do that.
2 Republican senators voted against Hegseth, but he did have 51 votes to clear the final confirmation, which is expected to come tomorrow.
Additional presidential news. President Trump has pardoned anti-abortion activists convicted of blockading abortion clinic entrances. He said it was, quote, a great honor, end quote, to sign the pardons, that what he called peaceful pro-life protesters should not have been prosecuted. Among those pardoned were people involved in an invasion and blockade of an abortion clinic in Washington in 2020. Trump will address tomorrow's annual anti-abortion protest, March for Life, in Washington, D.C. by video.
A judge orders police officers back into Milwaukee public schools by February 17th. In the ruling made today, the judge denied Milwaukee Public Schools' motion to dismiss this lawsuit that was filed by a parent of a student at MPS and the Wisconsin Institute for Law and Liberty over school safety. MPS is now ordered to comply with the law, provide legally required 25 school resource officers in all public schools during normal school hours no later than February 17th. If they fail to comply, the district leaders will be required to appear in court before a judge and explain why they didn't make the deadline. MPS has been out of compliance since last year.
Work is happening right now on a plan to get the final Slenderman stabbing attacker ready for her release. Morgan Geyser has spent nearly 7 years in a state mental health facility in Oshkosh.
The goal for Morgan Geyser from day one was the same as every patient at the Winnebago Mental Health Institute. Director Jesse Andrews.
The goal is to assess what their treatment needs are, provide them with expedited treatment as quickly as possible, work to help them psychiatrically stabilize, and return them back to the community as swiftly as possible.
Some patients stay for a short term. Others, like Geyser, stay for years.
We are constantly assessing throughout the duration of someone's hospitalization here their response to treatment, their clinical status, their progress, and their discharge readiness.
Jessica Ty, WTMJ News.
A triple shooting on Milwaukee's north side leaves 1 person dead and 2 hurt. It happened near 39th and West Cheyenne around 6:30 last night. 22-year-old Jocelyn Jimenez died at the scene. 2 people in their 50s were rushed to the hospital with injuries. Police have arrested a 32-year-old. The shooting comes just hours after 17-year-old Zania Booker died in a shooting near 28th and Atkinson.
Rescued from the icy waters of Lake Mendota last night, the Madison Fire Department responded to the call near Picnic Point just before 11 p.m. Wednesday. A man used his cell phone flashlight as a beacon to help firefighters spot him about 3/4 of a mile from the UW campus boat ramp. The lake rescue team rescued him from the water and he was taken to the hospital. He said he was walking on the ice when he fell through, being in the water for approximately 20 minutes.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Your Milwaukee Bucks landed in Milwaukee in time for their game tonight against the Miami Heat at Pfizer Forum. The team was stuck in New Orleans, where last night's game against the Pelicans postponed because of snowy weather and it was canceled. They're going to have to reschedule that. Tip-off for your Bucks versus the Heat now set for 7:30 tonight. Our coverage will begin at 7 p.m. right after What's on Tap with Sandy Max. Meanwhile, UWM beat Wright State 95-79 in Horizon League play last night. And the Panthers will take on Northern Kentucky tomorrow night.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 5:34.
This report is sponsored by Holiday Automotive on Highway 23 in Fond du Lac. Holiday Automotive, it's worth the trip.
WTMJ's Greg Matzik here for Holiday Mazda in Fond du Lac. Hey, drive into 2025 confident and inspired in a new all-wheel drive Mazda SUV during the New Year's sales event. Connect with Team Holiday for impressive selection. Find the one right for you, then pair up their low, clearly marked simplified price with enticing offers and get more Mazda for your money and more for your trade. Well-qualified buyers can lock in 2.9% 5-year or 6-year financing on the raved-about luxurious 3-row Mazda CX-90 or the first ever spacious and nimble 2-row Mazda CX-70. Plug-in hybrid models included. Are you or someone in your household already driving Mazda? Owner loyalty rewards could save you even more. Get qualifying details while you enjoy the award-winning guest care at Wisconsin's #1. It's the stuff that makes fans of drivers from all over the Badger State, and I'm one of them. Find yours and discover the difference at Holiday Mazda in Fond du Lac and at holidaymazda.com. It's worth the trip.
I know, January's here. WTMJ's John Burke here. If you have the January blues, start your weekend tonight with a free dinner at the historic Fox and Hound Supper Club, voted the best supper club in the area. Enjoy any steak, the seafood, the pan-fried walleye, a fresh salad, steak and lobster, the ribs, the pasta, any dinner on the menu. Your second dinner is free. Desserts and those huge ice cream drinks. Also, buy one, get one free. Sip on an old-fashioned, a Manhattan. Check out the bourbon. 100 wines on the new wine list. The Fox and Hounds in the heart of the Kettle Moraine Forest is a one-of-a-kind gem. The holiday decorations are still up with thousands of lights. The Christmas characters. It's a must-see, and those 7 wood-burning fireplaces will keep you warm on a cold January night. Weekends might be too busy for some, so enjoy a quiet, romantic dinner tonight at the Fox and Hounds, just off Highway 167, 2 miles east of the famous Holy Hill Shrine. The drive is beautiful. Start your weekend tonight with a free dinner. Reserve at foxandhoundsrestaurant.com.
James Imaging Systems, local support, local accountability, local business technology representatives. Listen to Matheson Manufacturing President Al Leidinger.
She still checks in to see how things are going and if we need anything, so I really do appreciate that from a customer service standpoint.
Michael Quizan, IT Systems Administrator at Great Midwest Bank, discovered the benefits of working with the local team at James.
Our costs from supplies perspective went down. I mean, we're talking about thousands in a year. So we saved a lot of money by bringing James Imaging on.
James Imaging Systems client Luther Gray, Director of Ticket Operations and Group Sales with the Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra, on dealing with James.
They are making sure you get the full value and life of every product that you have with them.
Local support, local accountability, local people. Get it all with James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee. Milwaukee Mattress, where top quality mattresses are priced hundreds less than premium national mattress brands. Found exclusively at Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, and downtown Milwaukee.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
He is chief meteorologist for TMJ4 News, Brian Osnansky, who's also a huge Bucs fan. Brian, were you watching every minute of this plane that was landing for the Bucs?
We were. We had it going live on our 4 p.m. news.
Excellent.
It reminded me of back in the day. I think, Julia, both you and I were working in Wausau at the time.
Is this Brett Favre?
When Favre, yeah. You know what I mean? When we were all watching the plane when Favre came back.
Oh, yeah.
It was, is he going to play? Where's he? He's in the booth. He's at the preseason game.
Was it a beautiful sunset? Because the shot that you had on TMJ4 was absolutely poetic and beautiful of the Bucs landing today.
Favre was getting off like a smaller plane, little charter plane, private plane.
Yeah.
And then he looks serious. And didn't he go to talk to like Mark Murphy and McCarthy or something?
Yeah, it was all, whether he was coming back or whether he wasn't, or the Packers were moving on. It was crazy, but crazy
you mean
stuff.
The years when he said, "Why don't you all just watch some playoff baseball"? Remember when he dropped that line on everybody? He wanted all the attention, and then he got the attention, and he got snarky and said, "Why don't you watch baseball?"
I'm just thinking about tonight with the game and all of the fans that are like in limbo for a little bit.
Sure. Go find a bar or restaurant. Keep dinner going a little bit longer.
Well, doors open at 6 at Fiserv Forum, and game time is 7:30.
Okay.
So you have time to get there.
Oh, my gosh.
But Brian, you're an
boozed.
athlete. Oh, jeez. But Brian, you're an athlete. Like, what's your thought on the fellas being cooped up for almost 4 days, then cooped up on a plane, and then, walking the tarmac, the first fresh air in Wisconsin they've had for a while, and then going right to the stadium?
Sure. Well, I'm far from a Bucks player, but I would say, think about how tight you are when you get off a plane. You've been sitting there for a couple hours and stuff. So, they each one of these fine-tuned machines that a professional basketball player has a regiment that they go through, that they need a certain time and a certain thing, whether it's a massage or they got to go through everything, and I'm sure that's going to be a little out of whack tonight. So who knows what to expect?
Yeah, they couldn't even
with
practice. Maybe they were practicing in their hotel rooms.
My idea is that there should be a sauna there, so they could just go into the sauna, loosen up the muscles a little bit, warm up.
Yeah, they're probably tight after on a plane. Forget about it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, it's not an ideal situation, but sounds like they're going to be playing tonight. And again, less snow here in Milwaukee than what they encountered down in New Orleans. Pretty crazy stuff.
Are we going to get any more snow after last night's dusting around the area?
Yeah, so last night, much of the area saw at least an inch, and we had some spots that were a little bit more than that, 2-3 inch totals across Waukesha and southern Milwaukee County. But we do have a couple minor chances for snow. We're talking flurries tomorrow evening, and then maybe a few snow showers Saturday evening. I don't want to take us back in time. Saturday evening, a couple snow showers. Still going to be a really cold night tonight. I think some spots could actually dip to around 0 actual temperature and wind chills around -10.
Oh, okay. That's different from what I was just looking at. I thought it was going to be 5 below 0, so it's even worse.
Yeah, so I would say about -10 for a wind chill. Here in Milwaukee, maybe we bottom out around 4 for an actual temperature, but places like Waukesha could be more like 0 when you get going tomorrow morning. So not the cold that we had that shut down the schools earlier this week, but still darn cold for us here in southeastern Wisconsin.
He is Chief Meteorologist Brian Isnansky. Check him out. You're going to be on at 6, right?
Yep, we'll be back at it at 6 o'clock, and we're talking about when we could thaw out a little bit. Temperature above freezing at some point this weekend. More on that, coming up.
Excellent. All right, thanks, Brian. He'll help us pass the time because we got to wait for the Bucks game, right? It's 5:42 on WTMJ.
We've all heard of Larry Bird. Allow us to introduce Derry Bird.
It's A.J. Green splashing a 3 down from the right wing on the other end of the court. It's a 1-point game. Giannis back to A.J. A.J. going to try to answer. Off balance 3, and he hits it. How did he hit that one? The Derry Bird going deep into his bag of tricks there.
We're the home of Derry Bird and the Bucks. WTMJ.
If you're a woman looking to take control of your financial future, you are not alone. Women are leading the way in business and managing household finances, but challenges still exist. That's why Annex Wealth Management presents the Women in Wealth series every third Thursday. It'll empower you with knowledge and resources to succeed. Join us for collaborative discussions, community building, and learn about key areas of financial planning. Women in Wealth events are free every third Thursday. Sign up at annexwealth.com/events and bring a friend.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here, asking you to join me in October as my wife and I explore the magical kingdoms of Southeast Asia, from the villages of Vietnam and the temples of Cambodia to the friendly locals of Laos and the beachside resort in stunning, lively Thailand. I hope you'll join us for this unforgettable journey. Ancient and mysterious worlds of rural landscapes, bustling cities, and fascinating history in Vietnam. Explore the Chu Chi tunnels used by the Viet Cong. Experience a street food adventure through Hanoi and cherish the serenity of Hai Long Bay on a beautiful boat ride. Bangkok in Thailand, the beaches in Thailand, history, tradition, food. If you'd like more information on this great trip, send me an email. john.mercure@WTMJ.com. john.mercure@WTMJ.com. It's Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos. I'm super jazzed about this trip. Send me an email. I send you the info. john.mercure, MERCURE @WTMJ.com.
With the ability to market luxury homes on a higher scale than ever before, Century 21 Benefit Realty has taken a huge step forward to tap into a global network of buyers. Maximum exposure to spotlight your unique home with our fine homes and estates marketing so you can sell it for the highest price. And with no upfront fees and 1.9% real estate commission, you win. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated. First off, our 1.9% commission structure helps get their foot in the door, and that's why agents like working here. But what they really like is having the strongest marketing tools available, with the resources to help them sell homes at the highest prices to satisfy their clients. Century 21 Benefit Realty offers what agents like most, and that's to help them be successful. If you really want to believe in the business model that you're representing, give me a call. I'm Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty. Call me, and let's talk about your future. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Traffic is sponsored by Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee. Design Exchange is where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at 25 to 40% off retail prices in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Let's go to your roads with Debbie Lazaga. Hey, Deb, how are the roads?
Well, we do still have this accident eastbound 94 at 35th Street off on the right shoulder, so watch for that. Backups are pretty heavy from the Zoo interchange all the way to that point. Westbound slowing down a bit from 25th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. Southbound on 43, we've got some backups from North Avenue all the way down through the Marquette and over the high-rise bridge, pretty much all the way down past Lincoln. And then southbound on 894 from Oklahoma Avenue, it's going to be heavy all the way down through the Hale and on to 894 eastbound. We still have, well, actually, we just got this accident that was on the ramp to get onto the Rock Freeway cleared out of the way, so that should make things a little bit easier now. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
All right. Lots of news coming out of Washington, D.C. President Donald Trump sent 1,500 additional troops, mix of active duty and Army, Marines, to the border. We have Olivia Rubin, ABC News investigative reporter. Olivia, what's the latest on the border?
Yeah, well, like you said, we do have those deployments heading down there. Those are underway, according to a military official. But I think it's important to dig into what they're actually going to be doing down there. Again, a military official saying that none of the forces being sent so far are intended to be used for law enforcement purposes. They're deployments that are including aerial support and helicopters, as well as intelligence analysts for enhanced protection and monitoring activities, but still a notable show of force. And it also comes, I would add, as two U.S. officials are telling us that 4 military cargo planes are now being positioned for future use in deportation flights. So that could take some time there.
What do you think that means? There's also different facilities like military bases that are being possibly converted as well. So is that foreshadowing what's ahead?
I certainly think it could be. You know, they've spoken at length, the Trump administration and his allies, about the desire for mass deportations. Of course, it's something there was reporting that there could have been one this week in Chicago, but the border czar Tom Homan ended up sort of walking back that plan. But again, yeah, I think it's foreshadowing there, as you said. But it's also important to note that, you know, the Trump administration today is walking up to some legal roadblocks in their plans. Of course, Trump signed that executive order against birthright citizenship, but that was actually blocked by a judge in Seattle today, a federal judge, saying that it was blatantly unconstitutional.
Okay, and also what I saw was that ICE says there have been some arrests with the first large-scale arrest operation this week under the Trump administration. They say that there's been hundreds of arrests already.
That's an interesting one. That was something that Caroline Levitt, as far as I saw, said today, that there have been 500 arrests and that they are being sent home. So we're certainly pushing for more details on that. Also on the front of ICE, you know, it's interesting to note that ICE also received some new directives. They now are able to conduct raids in what's known as a sensitive area, which is a courthouse. That changes an older policy that had blocked that because, again, it was a sensitive area, saying that they're now just directed to use common sense.
Talking with ABC News investigative reporter Olivia Rubin. You are right there in Washington, D.C., and I feel like President Trump is going to get a hand cramp with all the executive orders he is signing. What are some of the newest, freshest executive orders as of this afternoon?
Yep, I think a hand cramp is certainly possible. We're seeing, of flurry of executive orders. I think some of the newest ones that we're seeing today is an executive order aimed at potentially looking at creating a crypto stockpile. He also signed an executive order to declassify the JFK, RFK, and MLK assassination files. So again, more executive orders.
So Olivia, when that executive order is made to release those files, how soon could we see it?
That's a good question. I think that it's something we can definitely push for more guidance on. But I think as we've seen so far, they've been moving quickly on some of this stuff. Though, again, some things are running into legal challenges or some things are taking some more time there.
I would think that with Robert Kennedy Jr. being so close to Donald Trump now, that he would be very curious to be seeing those files and might be goosing that along.
You'd have to think so.
Yeah.
Certainly, that could definitely be a possibility. RFK is certainly busy getting ready for his confirmation hearing, which has now been scheduled for next week. But certainly, if he gets passed and ends up in the Trump administration, that would be something to watch for.
ABC News legal analyst Olivia Rubin, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. So there's some other news that's been going on. Denmark in the headlines. They're still fixated on President Trump's interest in Greenland. A Danish member of the European Parliament, Anders Vistisen, said this, and it's going viral.
Dear President Trump, listen very carefully. Greenland has been part of the Danish kingdom for 800 years. It's an integrated part of our country. It is not for sale. Let me put it in words you might understand. Mr. Trump, f*** off.
Oh,
yeah,
my.
I know. That was in France when he spoke before the European Parliament. So
it's direct, but the art of diplomacy seems to be a little missing there.
Yeah, there's no mix up in translation.
That's straightforward. You talk about Denmark.
Mm-hmm.
When Greenland first came up, and then the Denmark connection, my mind rolled back. Remember election night? One of my assignments was to be at No Studios, and there was a big election night viewing party for a lot of get out the vote organizations. So went there, met some people, interviewed some people, and one of the surprise people I met was a TV anchor from Denmark. Her name's Divya Das, and she has been covering news for decades there.
So
and
she came to Wisconsin to cover the election.
Specifically Wisconsin, because it was a swing state, but it was like, okay, I don't mean to be kind of dim, but it must be that important to Denmark and your viewers. Like, how important is it? Is there a specific topic that they're interested in? And this is what Divya Das shared.
The umbrella that NATO is and the force that the states is within NATO. It is very important to us as Europeans is that there is a U.S. that we can rely on. And I think many Danes will be looking at what happens here and making plans accordingly.
Yeah, so she was talking about NATO, right? And was she specifically talking about Greenland even back then?
Just more the overall security of that of Europe and those relationships and allyships and alliances. And I've traded notes with her since that. I was like, oh, wow, Greenland, that must have been a surprise. And she said, absolutely, it shocked our nation. And the visit by Donald Trump Jr., which was supposedly a surprise, yet wasn't a surprise, that it really is a confusing time for them in Denmark now that this Greenland subject has been brought up so pointedly.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, it was like he was wined and dined when he went to Greenland. Like there was a lot of people meeting with him. He was talking to a lot of people behind the scenes. I know that President Trump said in his first term that strategically, militarily, like it's a perfect location for military installations to be, and if it was for sale. So,
and if you like the cold,
yes,
it reminds me of Siberia. It's like, oh,
I know.
Greenland
I looked at the population.
Not
of
a friendly climate.
Yeah, it's like 55,000 people who live in there in the country.
It's a big country.
Yeah, it is. And now thinking about here at home in Milwaukee, we should have our Bucks playing, and doing everything at 6:30, but it's been moved an hour.
Moved. Thank goodness they made it back from New Orleans. That game time tip-off, 7:30.
That was hairy for a little while.
I was I'm going to tell you right now, I was not fully confident that they would make it back and make it to the stadium, just be all ready.
Me too.
Okay, so I'm very relieved they made it back safely and that they are raring to go to hopefully beat the Heat tonight. Tip-off has been changed to 7:30. Doors will open in 5 minutes at Fiserv Forum. So if you've been wondering, holding a ticket, or whether you want to just go and have some fun and see the game tonight.
Like, should I go?
Yeah,
I have
should
a
you go?
ticket.
You
Am I
got
getting
it.
a refund? No.
And-
Definitely go. Have fun, everybody.
And our coverage here will start at 7 o'clock. And I think because of a little delay, I don't mind. I am your host of What's on Tap, weeknights at 6 o'clock. And it's a chance to pay tribute to Bob Uecker. I will re-air the tribute show that I played last Thursday, which includes finding out about Bob Uecker's appearance on Saturday Night Live, talking about his baseball broadcasts, his co-star in Major League who played Monty the Color Man, Skip Graparis. We get his thoughts and memories, and also an update on the Uke doc and where that is in production.
I can't wait.
And Bob Uecker sings. You'll hear that too. So from 6 to 7, Bob Uecker tribute on What's on Tap, and then 7 o'clock, your Milwaukee Bucks on WTMJ.
Perfect. All right. Thank you. That's coming up right after the news. It's 5:56 on WTMJ. Here's your business headlines.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.